Facebook. Subscribe, please.
Oh, no. More disappointment.
Hey.
There we go.
Hey, here we are, everybody.
You know, I'm just looking at this survey, and it says, where is Mancuda? Your options are on the toilet, in jail, locked out of apartment, and who cares? And most people thought I was on the toilet when actually I was beating my thing like it owed me money.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know why you didn't throw that in as an option, Johnny.
Mm-hmm. Well, you only get like 4 options.
Well, that should have been the number one answer on the board. Here's the question. It's like Family Feud.
Yeah. Well, hey, everybody. It's Johnny Beane, John Mancuda, Neanderthal. It's Talking Guitars and 80s Metal Live, July 6, 2021, 8:19 Eastern, 5:19 Pacific.
Live.
Welcome, you guys. Welcome. Let's get through these as fast as we can. We're live here on YouTube, of course, where we have channel memberships. Become a channel member. Help support the channel, support these shows. And the top tier of channel memberships are the executive producers like Charles
The big bosses.
Green. Yeah. Charles Green, Wayno, Joe Christian, Michael B., Thomas Santiago, Music Therapy Laz. Great to see you yesterday, man. Bent Tom, the Chad, James Gum, David Shagamori, Lenny Lou and Mary, Michael Smith, Randy Price, Stephen Franklin, Dan Halen, Crazy Cook 678, Sean Moronic, Jim Ray Hawkins, Mike Neese, and Steve Carmichael.
Steve Carmichael?
Yeah, those are the executive producers, the top tier of channel membership here on Johnny Beane TV. Again, become a channel member. Your name is in green. You get special emojis you can use. You get access to early content. You get bonus content, all kinds of cool stuff.
Boner content.
So make sure you do that. And here on YouTube, any super chats will change the color of my lights. So if you'd like to help support the channel, support these shows, any super chats will magically change the color of the lights in the Guitar More back here.
It's like
the latest. It's the latest in magical technology.
Straight from Hogwarts.
Kind of like this thing. Yeah. And we're live actually on Facebook as well, over on Johnny Beane TV Facebook page, where we have Facebook stars where you can help support over there. And I think we're live in the Van Halen 1974 to 2020 Facebook group, where we're over 60,000 members now.
Nice.
The group is getting bigger and bigger by the day.
Johnny, you've got to upgrade that. You've got to upgrade that screen there.
The picture. Yeah. I'll do that. Yeah, so it's awesome. You know, I've been getting rid of the weirdos. You know.
Well, I'm right here. I'm right here. Please don't.
Haven't, you know. Anyway, it's better. It's a lot better in there these days. You know, a lot of the weird people are jumping out. So.
Yeah, they're coming into Tuesday nights, which is where I want us.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. So hey, man.
Hey.
Crazy weekend. Huh?
How was your 4th? How was everyone's 4th out there? Did everyone have a good 4th? I hope. The 200 was it the 245th birthday of our country? I think it's 245, right? I think. John Biel.
John Biel.
And thank you, Chris Bevan. Yeah, so everyone guessed in the survey, because we start 15 minutes late. Everyone guessed in the survey that I was on the toilet. Meanwhile, I was sitting there. Let's just put it this way. I was definitely churning so much cream it turned into butter. It was like masturbating in Amish country. You're churning all the butter. That's great. Speaking of churning butter, so apparently David Shea Gormery, parent of the year, who just had a birthday, and that was fun. I heard. Apparently has his 5-year-old watching the show as well. And of course, good parenting. Absolutely raise them right. Nothing like defying the parental advisory lyric sticker on the front of the show card. Absolutely, this is the right thing to do. Bring youngsters in because this is a family-friendly show as long as it's the Addams family or living in the Playboy Mansion, or you don't care about your child, growing up to be a stripper or something like that. So, but hey, Lily, if you're out there, welcome. Hey, good to see you. And happy birthday to Dave, or happy belated birthday to Dave.
Yeah. Happy birthday, man.
Yeah. Right now, Lily is thrilled, and she knows nothing about anything else I said, which is great.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, Edwin Crane said, "Is that where the curds and whey came from?" There you go. Let's say hello to all of those. Let's see. Just gonna get rid of the poll there. Let's say. Which is what Dave's going to do when she's 18. Get rid of the poll there. So let's see. Let's say hi to everyone. Let's say hi to everyone in our chat right now. Let's give shout outs. Nightbot, David Shea Gormery, and Lily, Fruitcake Tony, who, by the way, show me your pick. The next guest is going to be, let's see, who is it? It's from the band Striper, formerly of Firehouse. He's got a good guest coming up, so let's just take a quick look, see who that is, just so I don't butcher the name. Let's see. Coming up on this Saturday, July 10th, on Show Me Your Pick, spotlighting Striper bass player Perry Richardson, former and founding member of Firehouse, is going to be their guest. So that's very cool. So, little plug for you
awesome
over there, Tony, because that's a good show not to be missed. Show Me Your Pick on YouTube. Let's see. So we got Fruitcake Tony, Thomas Santiago, Hellface, Brendan Buttcheeks in the house, Tim Thomas, Black Salami. Thank you, brother. Mickey Settlemeyer, looking for some butter. Christopher Live Sawa, how are you, bro? Bent Tom and Tom Jr., Rico B, Crazy Country with a K, Jared Frost, Edwin Crane, let's see, Janice, la, 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 Mike Neese, Linny Lou, and my little geriatric wheelchair-bound sex kitten, Mary, our buddy Renus Pinkle, Jared Frost, hey, brother, happy Tuesday to you. Mark Dillon, happy birthday, Mark Dillon. It is your birthday today, so happy birthday, brother. Shout out to you.
Happy birthday
to you. Happy birthday. I dumped a load on a towel thinking of you. Happy birthday, Mark Dillon. I wasn't really thinking of you, but happy birthday anyway. Let's see. Rena's Pina, Brendan Butchie, Chris Bevan, Mike Neese, Music Therapy Laz, how are you, brother? Dwight Bailey in the house, Browns fan in the house, Mickey Settlemeyer, how are you, man? Thomas Santiago.
Happy birthday tomorrow, Robert.
Happy birthday tomorrow, Robert.
Get the towel out.
On. Okay, I'll be jerking off thinking of whoever you're actually banging. Let's see. Dwight Bailey, Brad Bowen, Majestic PB&J Cat. Yes, I was flogging the dolphin, which gives my mother flashbacks of the dolphin at SeaWorld. Let's see who else we got in here. R2R3, Locking Nut. Good to see you, man. Murph Murphy, happy belated birthday the other day to our own Amanda Coombs.
Yeah,
yesterday, absolutely. She's looking 29, which is awesome. Let's see who else we got in here. Michael B. Charles Green. Thank you, Charles. Thank you in advance. I really appreciate that. You rock, brother. Who else? Marky FX in the house. Nice and early. Thank you. Let's see. Who else?
Say hi if you've ever had a birthday.
Yeah. Yeah. If you were ever born, absolutely. You know, that was the first time I was ever in a vagina. Was my mother's. Isn't that terrible?
Disgusting.
Hellstorm. Listen, it's not that bad. You can open my gefilte fish anytime you want, Paul.
False flag. Hope everything's okay, man.
Can't spell it. Not going to open it.
Let's see. And everyone else that's in the chat. Everyone I didn't mention. Where's Sandra Picorni? My girl, Sandra Picorni. Jared Frost in the house. Robert Carstello in the house. Let's see. There's my girl, Amanda. And because I know she'll be watching my girl, Sandra Picorni. 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 We love you a long time. And Mike Johnson and Guitar Samurai 1 in the house. And everyone else.
And the rest.
Thank you. And the rest.
Everybody.
Yeah. You know, I'll tell you, my my mother the other day, you know, I realized, you know, she's like the inspiration. I'm gonna go on Shark Tank and you ever play with a Magic 8 Ball?
Yes.
Remember the Magic 8 Ball?
Yeah,
but you remember it? Okay, so for those that don't know, Magic 8 Ball was something started in the 70s. It looks like a big 8 ball from a pool table, and there's water in it, and there's a little thing floating in it with answers.
Signs point to yes.
Yeah, you flip it over. You ask it a question, you shake it up, you flip it, and it gives you a little answer. You know, like all signs point to yes. Will I find love? All signs point to yes. You know, so you look at that, and then I was realizing I'm gonna make a Mama 8 Ball, and it's gonna be modeled after my mother, and I'm just gonna shake it up and say, "Will I find love? Why is it so cold in here? Will I find true love? How long since you last called your mother? Will I be rich? Will I be rich, Mom? Yeah, I mean." It's gonna be a Mama Cuda 8 Ball. It's gonna have her face on it instead of the number 8. And it's gonna be a cue ball, you know, an 8 Ball with Mom's face on it. And it's gonna speak in disappointing sayings of Jewish mother guilt. It's
or gefilt.
Gefilt. Gevetch.
Oi, gewalt.
Oi, why do you ask me such things?
You know, you don't listen to your mother. Why? I should be an 8 Ball. You listen to the 8 Ball more than you listen to your mother.
Go ahead, shake my head like that. What are you doing to your mother? It's elder abuse.
Renus Pinkle asking about the Marshall Mini half stack, the Silver Jubilee. It's cool.
That you just got.
Yeah, that's it's very cool.
It is very cool.
Yeah, I mean, other than that's all I got for you. You know, it's cool. It takes up less space than an actual half stack. Sounds good. You know, it's a JCM 800, but a 20-watt JCM 800.
Mm-hmm.
So it's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I got a silver anniversary combo amp from the 80s, and yeah, it is basically like basically a JCM 800 of that period.
Mm-hmm.
And they're great. Slash likes them, and a couple other guys like them. Obviously, Paulie likes them, and I like them. So yeah. What's not to like? I ask you. Eduardo Moreno Porto in the house.
Renus, it is better than the JCM 800 Studio Head because it's more versatile. You can, you know, between the rhythm bleed and the boost and all the things that come with it. It's essentially a 2-channel amp, but it's got 2 channels with 2 modes. Excuse me, and the idea that you can knock it from 20 watts down to 5, you can drive the shit out of it without it annoying your neighbors.
Which is a down. You know, that's something that takes away from it because I like to annoy my neighbors.
Yeah. But 20 watts is still a lot of power in that amplifier.
I figure they deserve payback for all the fireworks I keep hearing at 2 a.m. Like aside from July 4th, like the 2 weeks leading up and yesterday, and I'm sure I'll hear more today.
Well, here's the deal, Renus. The Silver Jubilee head only comes in silver Tolex, but you can always re-Tolex it. But I have found that the 2x12 that comes with the Silver Jubilee has the same vintage 30s in it that the regular Marshall 2x12 will have. So they're exact same speakers. I think the cabinet is a different type of wood, and it tends to be a little bit brighter. Somebody did it. I think it's British Tones or one of the YouTube channels. I think it's British Tones or British Tone.
Tone.
Did an A/B between that head running through the regular Marshall 2x12 and the Silver Jubilee 2x12, and the Silver Jubilee 2x12 is by far snappier and crunchier than the regular one.
Picorni.
Mike Neese, John Marshall was a roadie for Metallica and did play guitar when James burnt himself on stage. John also, I think, played for Metal Church for a while. I think he was the guitar player in Metal Church for a while.
There you go.
But yeah, he played. He was a stage tech, a roadie. And when James burnt himself, when he was standing on the certain part of the stage during the Damaged Justice tour, you probably saw the video where the flame goes up and basically he's standing on the wrong spot, and it cooked his arm pretty good. So there's some concert footage of him singing with a microphone, and he's got a cast on his arm. John Marshall was the guitar player that played on that.
Wow, I remember that.
I remember that too. Yeah, that was crazy. It was crazy that they caught it on video.
Yeah. They videoed all that entire tour.
Yeah. And Mike Johnson says, go ahead, play loud, annoy your neighbors. I joke about it, but actually my neighbors really like me playing in the middle of the night. In fact, one of them put a brick through my window just to hear it better. So definitely they do. And I appreciate that compliment, from them. So they hear it better now. I just open my windows because I don't want to put them through the effort.
Yeah. I steal the joke. I steal the joke from the meme that goes around. It's, hey, how about a little respect? I'm like, I can't play Aretha, but I'll give it my best shot.
R-E-S-P-C-T, this is what it means to me. R-E-S-P-C-T, this is what it means to me. Suck it to me, 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 suck it to me.
Fruitcake Tony, you might be right. I might have John Marshall and somebody else confused, but I do know that he did that. He said subbed in for James a couple of times. So,
Oh, there you go. Let's see. Let's talk about something that happened just right after we left the air last week that I was so pissed. If you remember last week, I don't remember the subject, but just for a minute, we were joking about Bill Cosby, and like after we went off the air, the motherfucker gets released out of jail. And I was just like, son of a bitch. If they were going to do it, couldn't they have done it like 4 hours early so we could, bust on him in the show? But okay, in the interim, since that happened, apparently there was a little incident between Felicia Rashad and who played Claire Huxtable on the Cosby Show. Mm-hmm. And she basically went on Twitter and sent off a tweet, stupid fucking tweet that this idiot sent off, saying a great injustice has been righted, insinuating that it was the right thing to do to let this motherfucker out of jail. And she immediately gets stomped on by the rest of the world and comes back off with another tweet. I'm not saying that you shouldn't come forward if you're a victim. I stand with all victims of all things. I didn't say. Look, the bottom line is her friendship with Bill Cosby, and I guess her gratitude for being on the show, got into her head and fucked with it enough to say something really stupid. So of course, and this is where it relates to this show, Paul Stanley calls her out, because this is always fun when you get a member of KISS calling you out. I mean, what's better
KISS.
than what's better than that than a member of KISS calling you out on your bullshit. And Paul decides to go and tweet back at her. Let's see. When someone feigns sympathy by speaking of your truth, they're actually saying they don't believe you. 60 women came forward with basically identical accounts of being drugged and raped. That is the truth. Legal technicalities and friendship with the rapist can't change that, Felicia. So there you go. Paul just basically comes out like a man, ripping her an asshole, and also goes to Cosby directly. What a travesty. My sympathy to all those brave women who came forward only now to be assaulted again. And look, Paul speaks the truth, man. Cosby's a dildo. Cosby hasn't replied, of course, because, he's too busy fucking celebrating his stupid ass. And, I just want to put out a statement that even though I was never done anything but proven guilty, I'm glad that the American justice system has let me go, because now I can go have lunch with my buddy O.J. Simpson, and we can bring back Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids. Hopefully I can get work. Oh shit, what am I gonna do because I'm guilty as fuck?
Oh wait.
Wait till he sues the state of Pennsylvania for wrongful imprisonment and wins.
You know what's really fucked up? I was actually thinking that.
He's going to. He can. He's got a case.
Unfortunately, he actually
He's
does.
got a case. It sucks.
Because this stupid fucking prosecutor decides at the time to drop a criminal case with him without testifying, in the idea that he'll testify at a civil case against him if he doesn't get prosecuted criminally by testifying and incriminating himself. So go ahead, boy.
I'm not going to get all deep into it, because when it's all said and done, he got away with it.
I just want to bust this asshole a bit on the show.
He got away with it. He's going to sue the state of Pennsylvania. He's going to win. Here's what went wrong. The district attorney did not have the authority to cut that deal with Cosby. The Supreme Court has already ruled that a district attorney doesn't have the opportunity to cut a deal, an indemnity deal or an immunity deal, without the court order of a judge, which never came from the state of Pennsylvania. And even if he did cut this deal, he's not legally bound to stand by the deal. So essentially, assuming a district attorney does have the legal structure or status or authority to say to you, look, if you testify here, we won't criminally prosecute you. They don't have to be held or bound to that verbal promise. So the whole thing is fucked. He gets away with it. He's going to sue. He's going to get paid. And that's all, look, it sucks, because women who have been sexually assaulted are now going to go back into the shadows. And, it took so long for these women to come forward. 63 women have come forward, many of whom can't possibly get justice because of statute of limitations. By the way, statute of limitations on sexual assault, really? So at some point you only have it's like a warranty. At some point it's
okay.
You have a warranty. You have a warranty where, look, if you don't say anything about it within a certain time, you don't get to, it didn't happen. That sounds like bullshit. So long story short, he got away with it. He's going to get paid again. He's going back on stage. That's not going to go well. You imagine him trying to do live shows again.
The idea that he's not locked in a fucking bomb shelter hiding from the world.
It is what it is.
It's mind blowing. It's mind blowing, because he's just got the fucking balls right now to fucking be smiling and walking around. I know I did it, but that's bullshit. It's absolute fucking bullshit.
It's bullshit. He got away with it. End of story.
Yeah. So just wanted to call that prick out. And I did actually, ironically, to celebrate him being a scumbag of scumbags, I did watch a couple of Cosby, not Cosby Show, but Fat Albert episodes, like ones that you don't see anymore. There's one where the kids go to jail, like real prison, in a Scared Straight kind of program, and like all the inmates are like eyeing them with sexual intentions, and they're all bullying him, and they put him in a cell, and the kids are like freaking out and stuff, like, let me out of here, man, let me out of here. And they got these big goons, these lifers looking at, you gotta do whatever we want you to do. Give me the thin one with the goofy hat. I got a candy bar for you, little boy. And another one's like, you're asking for Fat Albert, and he's like, send me the fat one. He'll keep me cool in the shade, and then I'll have my way with him. It's crazy, dude. You don't see this one aired anymore. There's a couple of them you don't see aired anymore. That one. Then there's one with basically a white supremacist. There's this kid that moves into, no shit, no, this is not a bit. There's a kid that moves into the neighborhood, and he's literally wearing, Paul, tell me if you've seen this. He's literally wearing like a brown Nazi youth outfit, and instead of a swastika on the armband, there's like 2 X's, because they can't put a swastika. They can't go that far. But I mean, just the idea that they've got this blonde-haired, blue-eyed character, and he's drawing graffiti on the wall by Fat Albert's house, and it says, leave town, Mexican or something. And Fat Albert comes over, hey, that's not cool. And he's like, all right. And he scratches it out, and he goes, leave town blacks. And Fat Albert's like, oh. And basically the guy attacks Fat Albert. Fat Albert, it literally winds up with a paint can on his head, and Fat Albert like hangs him off a telephone pole. When you can come down when you're cool.
None of that happened. None of that.
I'm definitely 1000% not joking. You can look this up on YouTube. Look up Fat Albert. Look up Fat Albert racist. And no, I'm serious. Look up Fat Albert racist. This is an actual episode of Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids. Then the third episode I watched is another one you don't see aired anymore, and it's basically the one, and this, I remember seeing this one as a kid, but I've never seen it again since, until YouTube came along. It's where Fat Albert's in the school, there comes a new kid, and the kid's literally special needs, and the teacher goes, Albert, I need to see you after class. I need to have you and the gang help a new student fit in. He's different. What do you mean he's different? Well, he's retarded. And literally, she says the word retarded. And Fat Albert's just like, what? And you don't see these on the air anymore, except now on YouTube. But these all actually aired Saturday morning Filmation cartoons. And if you want to like have your jaw on the floor, just watch these 3. And it's like, it's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing.
Go ahead, Johnny.
Wow.
Yep.
There's Johnny's contribution.
Nope. Go ahead, Johnny. Put it up.
Let's see.
You got the link?
Oh my gosh. I was gonna say, that reminds me of that show that you did, man. I watched those episodes of the black and white show that you were on. You did the voice. You did the voice of that family show.
Oh, the Wilkinsons.
Yeah, the Wilkinsons.
That was shot in Australia.
And that one kid comes home with the friend, and he's wearing,
the friend belonged to the KKK.
Yeah,
and the family didn't realize it. They're like, wait, what? Yeah, I did voiceovers on that show. That was filmed in Australia. The Wilkinsons. It was like basically like a modern kind of Brady Bunch kind of thing.
Yeah, I watched them all. There was like 5 episodes. Or something.
Yeah. Obviously, another real popular thing I was in.
They were pretty good. I mean,
they were great. They were great. But anyway, if you want to,
Johnny can put it up. I just sent him the link.
Which one is it?
Evil Punk.
Is that the racist one?
Yep.
It's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing. I get that, like, you know, I guess Cosby wanted to make a statement at the time, but holy fuck. I mean, the kid's in a Nazi uniform. Johnny, get a photo of that kid up.
I sent him a link, the wiki link to the character. It's in the chat too.
Johnny working hard to get that up.
Yep. He exists.
Yeah. This is not a bit. You're thinking like, oh, Mancuda's just joking. No. Let's see. Yeah.
Is that him?
Yep.
That's him. But
George?
you need, see if you can get a full body shot so you can see the uniform. He's walking around the neighborhood in a fucking uniform.
What's he holding? That looks like popsicles.
It's the paintbrush. It's the paintbrush that he was painting on the
Latinos
wall.
Go home.
Yeah, Latinos go home. That's what it was.
Oh
and then he writes, and he switches it to blacks go home.
Like if you scroll, see it says right there that he's wearing Nazi clothing. The swastika is replaced. Yeah.
But you got to see like a full body of it. Let me see if I could just find it on Google.
Reyes goes home and abused Fat Albert, changes Christina to blacks go home, warns Fat Albert to go away before he gets hurt. Fat Albert refuses the racist punk, attempts to physically assault Fat Albert, who steps out of the way. This is pretty violent shit for Saturday morning cartoons.
Crazy, right? Oh, okay. Here we go. Wait. Here we go. Hold on. I've got an image. Hold on. Season 7, episode 6. I guess it's like the later episodes were like racier. Here's 2 of them. Spotlight me for a sec, Johnny. Here's 2 of them. Look at that.
Why does the guy on the right look like William Barr?
I guess that's Goebbels or what?
or it kind of looks like Patton Oswalt.
Look at this. Blonde hair, blue-eyed, and he's in a literal Nazi uniform on fucking Saturday mornings. How insane is that? Fucking Bill Cosby, man. He's been dicking us in the mouth all these years and we just didn't know it.
Wow.
You know? Wow.
By the way, that really should be on your tombstone when you die. It should just have the Star of David. And then he's been dicking us in the mouth the whole time. We just didn't know it.
Right now, my mother's like, you were watching Nazi cartoons as a kid? I didn't know that. Mind fucking blowing. Yeah. Yeah, and you know what it is? Fat Albert didn't beat the kid up. What it is, the kid lunges. He
throws him in a can of paint.
Yeah, he lunges to attack Fat Albert and misses and lands head first into a can of paint like this, because that always happens. That's how every fight I've ever had ends like that.
David Shea Gomery, I hope I pronounced that correctly. How'd they get away with that in 1977? Think about this. Sunday night, 1970s, primetime television, family time. Gather around the family, around the television. It's the CBS hour from 8 to 8:30. It's Sanford and Son. From 8:30 to 9, Chico and the Man. Count the N-bombs on those 2 shows. Count the N-bombs and the word spick being used. It's unbelievable, the stuff that we used to get away with on television back then. Things like Soap, things like anything written by Norman Lear.
I was about to say All in the Family.
Yeah, everything written by
what? Here's the thing. At least with Archie Bunker, like you laughed at the guy. You knew the guy's a racist.
You realized he was stupid.
Yeah, you laughed
at the stupidity of it. It wasn't like it wasn't a role model. It was, look at what an idiot this guy is.
Yeah, we're all
somewhere along the line we lost the sense of irony. We don't catch irony anymore. Irony doesn't exist. I'm thankful the other night on IFC, I got a chance to just dig myself right into Blazing Saddles. Good movie.
Great movie.
Just as good as it can't make it today. Good movie. Hilarious.
Yeah, no, it was just crazy coming across it this week. And I'm looking and I'm like, wait a sec, is this real? And then I'm remembering the one with the special needs kid. And I didn't remember the whole episode. I didn't remember the teacher goes, Albert, he's retarded. And he's like,
Yeah.
oh, he's retarded. And it was just like a moment of shock nowadays. And I'm just like, holy shit. I remember this. I just remember it differently.
Yep. Those were different times.
And what's really funny is, those moments Bill Cosby is like, in the junkyard, usually fixing something up. He's fixing this big cage, like a big bird cage, but it's big. And I'm thinking, is that where you keep children, Bill? Is that what you?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Jesus. Yeah. No, it was crazy. And I was just looking, I was just like, holy shit. And I looked them up in the episode guides online. I was like, all this really happened. Holy shit. And Bill Cosby's going to bring them all back because, I'm going to do what I'm going to do. We're making special Jell-O pudding with sprinkles that aren't sprinkles, if you know what I mean. Yeah. So Cosby can basically go rip his own dick off in my eyes. And
Spunkles.
Yeah, and kudos to Paul Stanley for calling out Felicia Rashad publicly, because really, man, that was just insane. It's just fucking insane. Yeah. Wow. So there you go. That happened right after we went off the air last week. I was like, I was in shock, but I would have loved to have gone right on the air with that one, baby. Yeah. So let's talk about the Iron Maiden Igloo cooler that we talked about last week. Keep your Jell-O puddings cool. Your pudding pops ice cold.
Pudding plops.
Yeah, pudding plops. He's like calling up Jell-O right now. Listen, I just got out. What are the chances of me being a sponsor again? Because I'm all over the news and I got so many eyeballs on me right now. I'm popping. Hello.
Jell-O?
Yeah, he should be back in jail-o. They should be putting him back in jail-o. Putting me back. Yeah. So anyway, we were talking about the Iron Maiden cooler, and thank you, Boner Jams. Appreciate that.
Wednesdays. Every last Wednesday.
And Boner Jams brings up that Paulie and I are getting handsomer each week. Paul, did you know this?
It's true.
I've heard the rumors, and I look at you and I have to admit, you are a good-looking fella.
Look, if I dug guys in pink hats, you'd be one of them.
I appreciate that.
See, and
if I dug guys at all,
right?
I mean, look, as it is, I dig girls, but usually they're in the grave, so I dig them, and they're the only ones that cooperate with me.
Oh boy.
But thank you, Boner Jam. That Iron Maiden ice cooler that we promoted last week in Igloo sold the fuck out because Igloo underestimated how dedicated and devoted Iron Maiden fans are.
That's because outside of the United States, Iron Maiden are fucking massive.
Is that crazy? Dude, inside the U.S., they're massive.
Inside the U.S. they're big, but they're not like they are in South America and Europe. And I mean, Iron Maiden is a fucking soccer stadium band in other parts of the world. And
that's why all those bands play those huge stadiums out there.
It's huge. It's almost impossible for Iron Maiden to sell out a hockey arena now in the United States. It's weird. I don't know why that is. But over in Europe and in South America and Mexico and Central America, Jesus, is that band huge. Worldwide, Iron Maiden is massive, which is why they don't need radio airplay, why they don't need an MTV or anything like that. Iron Maiden is one of those bands that's bulletproof. They have something that, it's interesting because every once in a while, Borio on blabbermouth.net will try to put up, the Iron Maiden versus Judas Priest. And there's just no question. Iron Maiden is a significantly bigger band than Judas Priest. Just is what it is. I don't know how it happened. Don't know how it happened. I mean, obviously, Priest came first, but Iron Maiden have just, whatever it is, they're a juggernaut.
I think
there's something about them that is massive.
I think the merch also helps with that popularity, because more than, I mean, look, I see plenty of denim jackets with, Priest with the eagle or with the, the lion, drawn on there. But there's something about Eddie, the mascot for Iron Maiden, and the logo that, just spreads it around. You always see, even people not into Maiden love the graphics of the Iron Maiden shirts and shit like that. So it's more exposed, I think. But I also think that Iron Maiden is that kind of band, that while they're not on the radio, we have a massive following for them, even in the States. Just you don't see them.
Iron Maiden is a heavy metal Rush.
Oh yeah, great analogy.
There's something about Iron Maiden that is the same thing that Rush fans love about Rush. There's a connection there that they make. It's not a big leap to be a Rush fan and a Maiden fan, because Maiden tends to be a little proggy, a little bit Baroque, very European, very Euro metal. But Iron Maiden has that. They have the same thing that Metallica fans have, that Rush fans have, that Pearl Jam fans have. There's this fanatical, almost cult-like, it's like you're a member of a club, and more power to them for it. Good for them.
Someone you're in the know.
Yeah.
You're in the know.
No, they're phenomenal. And obviously Rod Smallwood and Steve Harris have created the same kind of juggernaut, merchandising juggernaut and business model that Gene Simmons did with Doc McGee, or Paul, more accurately, Paul Stanley did with Doc McGee. They have, Iron Maiden has figured out the secret. They figured it out, and more power to them. Great for them. And I also think it's great that Iron Maiden, and a lot of bands can't do this, but Iron Maiden can put out an album and then tour behind that album, and then put out a live album of that tour in between every album. They're able to do that. They're able to go, we're going out on the Final Frontier tour, or whatever it is that we want to do. And then when they're done with that, they'll put out the live album of that tour, and it gets bought. And then they go out on the next album, and we'll go do this one. And they figured out how to do it, and fans eat it up, and they're always good.
And also remember, they do things like what is that, Flight 666, that documentary.
Sam Dunn has helped them along the way as well, and they've helped Sam Dunn become a thing.
Yeah, and for those that don't know, when they do a tour, they fly their own fucking jet. That's them. And was it Dickinson flies that, right? Bruce Dickinson is the pilot. Yeah. He's the pilot of the damn jet. Yeah. So they've got their own 747. I don't know how many bands have that. It's theirs. It's their property. Bruce just says, "Hey, let's load up," and he just gets in and flies. Where are we going, to Rio? You want to show? Okay, and there you go, man. They're
he
off.
He doesn't have to help pack. He just he gets in.
He gets in. He's like, "Guys, we loaded up. Okay, all right. We're taking off now. Buckle up, everybody. This is your captain. Yeah, buckle up, everybody. We're good." And
this is your captain and your frontman.
It's got a big Eddie on the side of the plane. I mean, shit. That's the flight I want to fly.
They do everything right.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so going back to this cooler, I can imagine these corporate bean counters at Igloo who probably had no idea what a deal they made on this thing, and they're going around the room. So JP, what do you think we should do the production number of these coolers? I'd say 300 would be a fair amount for the first run. What do you think? I don't know if we'll sell out at 300, but I guess that's a safe enough number. If we wind up in the twos, yeah, okay, let's make 300 production run of these coolers, and like, they're gone instantly within like 3 days. They sold thousands and thousands of these things, like order after order after order, that they now have to catch up with. And the demand just keeps pouring in. It's like, come on, man.
All international shipping, though?
I don't even know. I imagine, I know so many fans of Maiden in the States. I'm sure everyone that watches this show is a Maiden fan. And then
that's the thing about Iron. That's the thing about Iron Maiden. For the United States, I think they are one of those bands that's like, oh, it's Iron Maiden, absolutely. Like I'll buy an Iron Maiden album without sight unseen. No Iron Maiden, with the exception of the 2 records they made with Blaze Bayley, they haven't made a stiff yet.
Absolutely.
Everything they do is fucking. I mean, the Blaze Bayley records are an abomination.
That's different.
But this was. I mean, there's just something, and even Dickinson's solo catalog is fantastic. And if you haven't heard,
they do no wrong.
And if you haven't heard the new Smith Kotzen record, you're missing out on one of the best records of the year. It's so well done. There's something about Iron Maiden that is like AC/DC.
Yeah, you don't fail with AC/DC.
It's just reliable. I know what I'm getting, and I'm going to buy it every time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can't tell you the last time I listened to, Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. But it's there. You know what I mean? It's there if I want it. I can't tell you the last time I listened to, Evil That Men Do. It's there.
Wayno brings up a great point. He says Anthrax opened up for Maiden, and they said throwing all their gear next to Maiden's gear, and then everything flying in the plane to the next city was the coolest thing ever. Hey, you guys want to lift to the next tour city? Yeah, just throw your gear on the plane. That's our plane right there. The one, with the Big Eddie. That's ours. Yeah, just throw it on. It's funny because they took what bands like Zeppelin and Sabbath and Kiss did and brought it to another level. Zeppelin, Sabbath, and Kiss all chartered planes. Yeah. And they chartered these things, and then basically the plane was run by the charter company, the luxury plane company. They had stewardesses and pilots, professional. Mm-hmm. Maiden, true to Steve Harris's vision, everything is self-contained. They've been self-contained for 30 years of the 50 years they've been around. You know what I mean? They've been for almost 50 years they've been around. They've been self-contained. When Rod Smallwood set up Sanctuary Management and Sanctuary Records and all of that stuff, and Iron Maiden started to own their own masters, they became judge, jury, and executioner. They own it all. And they did it first. They did it before Kiss did it. They did it before Bon Jovi did it. They did it before Metallica did it. Iron Maiden is a brilliant business model, and Rod Smallwood and Steve Harris deserve all the credit in the world for that. Really smart. And look, just because he's got Smallwood doesn't mean he's compensating, but he's wealthy. He's wealthy. Definitely sees more pussy than a shelter. So speaking of Smallwood, Bang energy drink, delicious Bang energy drink. Look at this. One of their new flavors. I actually got a couple of their new flavors recently, and this is this week's. This is one of the military flavors that they made for our troops, which I really applaud them for doing. They made 2 exclusive flavors. One was a strawberry that I promoted a few months ago. Now I have this one, Purple Kittles, and it tastes like purple Skittles candy. You know those grape Skittles? Look at that. I brought this one on today because look at that. Patriotic. Happy belated July 4th to everybody. And by the way, if you look, see there's a fighter jet in the middle of the B. That is your clue for today's show and tell guitar. Something to do with a fighter jet. So there you go. That's today's clue for show and tell. But this is Purple Kittles, and it does literally taste like grape Skittles, which is really delicious. So thank you, Bang Energy Drink and Smallwood. There you go. Just saying. Hellstorm wants to know, do I ever drink water? In fact, I actually passed water the other day. So yes, I do.
I got to get some water right now.
There you go. Water. So let's see. So there you go. That's the Iron Maiden cooler. Let's see. Let's talk about Let's see. We ripped apart Bill Cosby, which I could do all day long. Scumbag. We talked about the Iron Maiden cooler. We have a lot actually to talk about. I'll wait till the guys get back for certain things. Okay, let's talk about this. So Dee Snider recently in an interview touched on the fact that they used the song I Wanna Rock in the SpongeBob movie. I think it was the 2004 SpongeBob movie. And if you remember the movie, because who doesn't like SpongeBob? If you remember the movie, they basically rewrote the lyrics to I Wanna Rock. And I don't remember what they were rewritten as. It was, like parody, jokey, under the sea SpongeBob jokes. But they asked Dee Snider, so really, you didn't mind them rewriting the lyrics and using I Wanna Rock for a cartoon? And Dee starts laughing. He's like, let me tell you something, motherfucker. They paid me $300,000 to use that song. $300,000. So I don't care if they rewrote it in any lyrics and asked me to perform it and record it. I would have done that. I would have done anything for $300,000. And who the hell could blame him? Because he's like, yeah, kind of pays the bills and all that. $300,000. You want to use a song I already made a ton of money off of? Yes. Yes. The answer is fucking yes. $300,000. So ding, 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 ding. 300 G's. You better fucking believe D heard that and it was like, uh-huh. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, he was quite happy with 300 grand. He says, I don't give a shit what they wind up rewriting the lyrics as. $300,000. You can absolutely use my song. If you remember, Dee actually sued a politician who was trying to use his song, We're Not Gonna Take It, earlier in the year during the election year. And he said, no way, because Dee offered it to him to use for, I think, 125 or 150,000. And the politician said no and used it anyway and got sued. So good for Dee. But that was a bargain. Think about that. SpongeBob paid you 300,000. Johnny, what would you do for 300,000?
Anything.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I just listen. I got a check from Lenny Lou the other day. Said, "Hey, can you babysit Mary? I want to put her on your face." Absolutely. And I looked at the check. I said, "You bet." And she just plunked Mary down on my face, and I wore her like a helmet.
Gross.
Hey, well, you didn't see the check.
Gross.
It's not gross at all, baby. Those zeros give me a boner like a ring toss.
Gross.
Absolutely. Yeah. By the way, that's where that parental advisory on the screen card of the show comes from. Yeah.
I love when I disappear, the show gets really gross.
300 grand, Paulie. What do you think? Dee Snider made 300 grand for licensing out I Wanna Rock to the SpongeBob movie.
Which is amazing because, for those of you that have never spoken to Dee, he laughs about the fact that he's a 2-hit wonder. He's like, people say, I'm nothing but a 1-hit wonder. He goes, 2 hits. He goes, and I've made more off of We're Not Gonna Take It. He goes, I'm gonna get I Wanna Rock to start paying off. And damned if it's starting to do it now, isn't it?
Yes, sure is.
Good for him.
Yeah, and God bless Dee. We love Dee.
I think Dee is for those, again, if you've ever seen the guy outside of Twisted Sister, he's super smart. He's super nice. Little Danny Snider is grown up to be such a nice boy.
Such a nice boy. Why can't you be more like Danny Snider, John?
Danny Snider. That Danny Snider is such a nice boy.
John's on the air talking about fucking yaks, and here's Danny Snider doing wholesome things.
Well, Dee does. He chairs March of Dimes motorcycle rides. He does a lot of philanthropic stuff throughout the year, and is a super guy. And there's an argument to be made that the music he's made outside of Twisted Sister is actually more fun and more enjoyable. The Desperado record is fantastic. Both Widowmaker albums are great. His solo records are all excellent. Even the Broadway record is fantastic for what it is. There's an argument to be made that his solo output and stuff that he's done outside Twisted Sister is every bit as good, if not better, than the Twisted Sister material. He's a super talented guy.
Very talented, very intelligent, and one hell of a businessman.
And just a super nice guy. Like I don't know anybody that has, with the exception of Mark Mendoza, I don't know anybody that has a bad word to say about Dee Snider. And if anybody has a bad word to say about Dee Snider, it's Dee Snider.
Yeah, if you have a bad word to if you have a bad word for D, take it to another show. That's not
but the thing about it is D will tell you. D would be the first guy to tell you, I was an asshole. Like he totally gets it. Make no mistake.
The members of Crocus aren't happy with him.
Well, the fact of the matter is he is certainly the songwriter, certainly the talent. He's the guy that made Twisted Sister go. And he's also the guy that destroyed Twisted Sister. It's all him.
Speaking of destroying Twisted Sister, Jay Hannon of the great band Gizmachi blew them away on stage the other day at M3. So there you go. Check out the new Gizmachi album if you have not yet. I'm sure there's a link over here somewhere. We love Twisted Sister, but we love Gizmachi too.
I will tell you this. I saw some of the videos that have been coming out from M3. Pleasantly surprised by pleasantly surprised by the reunited original lineup of Bullet Boys.
Who actually they premiered at the Whiskey in 2019 before the pandemic. And now they're back at M3. They did a great show at M3.
I think that all of the for all of the limitations that Mark has as a lead vocalist, and there are many, he blew his voice out a long time ago, but he has found a way to make the good parts of his voice come out and minimize the howling that comes from the part of his voice that he's blown away. And the video that I saw from M3 was remarkably fun. I think Bullet Boys was one of those bands that certainly not as good as Badlands, certainly not as good as Spread Eagle or as good as Blue Murder, but in that last wave of hair bands, Bullet Boys was as good as any of them.
I like them a lot. And Mark Tureen, for those that don't know, is an extremely underrated guitarist. He was up for Randy Rhoads' spot after Randy passed away with Ozzy. So, don't underestimate him as a guitarist. Even though now he's a frontman, he still plays guitar there too. And I saw him at another M3 a few years ago and really, really knocked me out with his guitar playing. He was terrific. Really good.
I like Bullet Boys because I like the way that band was put together. Obviously sort of Ted Templeman trying to recreate the aura of Van Halen with the guitar player look of Guns N' Roses. Their songs are good. The production was good. Those, the first three Bullet Boys records are really, really good. Zaza's a different kind of record, but there's some really good stuff on it. But the first two, Bullet Boys and Freak Show, are great hard rock records.
Terrific albums.
And I was really happy to see that original lineup back together. As goofy as Lonnie looks, they look happy. So.
Oh, yeah. And then, you had I also saw a bunch of videos. I saw Lita Ford, and she always is really good live. Really, really, really brings it, And some people like, oh, she's great for a chick. No. She's great for a guitarist. She's fucking just great.
Yeah, so, I'm tired of the for a chick thing.
Is there time to just say
there are several female guitar players who are better than their male counterparts. They're just good guitar players. They're just good guitar players. That's gender has nothing to do with it. See, there's one of the things. Music is one of the few arenas in which gender doesn't matter. Bonnie Raitt's as good a blues guitar player as Stevie Ray Vaughan. You just don't know it. You don't see it. But he's a phenomenal slide player, phenomenal blues player. Doesn't get credit for it. People don't realize that Charo is one of the greatest flamenco guitar players on the planet.
And she was on the Love Boat. Holy shit. Come on. How many amazing guitar players are on the Love Boat and Fantasy Island? So what is your fantasy? Oh, Mr. Rourke, I want to play guitar. Okay, here you are. Ah!
Yeah, phenomenal. Gender is irrelevant when it comes to music. The unfortunate
I slept with Charo. Oh, go away.
The unfortunate part is we don't get past that. We're not going to get past that.
Oh, David Crosby? Yeah, no, he's a total dick. Oh, you're talking Charo. Yes. The vagina thing. Yes. Yeah. No, I mean, look, I think I've seen Lita a bunch of times. Her shows are really, really tight. Her albums are great. I mean, look, she started with the Runaways early on, and it just, carried through. She was a hard guitarist then. She's a hard guitarist now. She loves playing live, and I love seeing her live. She's great. Let's see. Tokyo Motor Fist.
Cool band.
Was great. I saw, again, Ted Poley is fronting them, and Steve Brown from Trickster is their guitarist. Very cool band, good live. I mean, these guys have it down. They're tight. They have it down. Who else did we see? I mean, there's so many good bands that played at M3. I remember reading the lineup to everyone last week. Let's see. By the way, the survey is in. What would you do for $300,000? 42% of you said whatever. 31% said anything. 26% said nothing. So there you go. You're all whores for money. That's good to know. Me too. That's good. We didn't come here to dance. We came here for the money. All right. That's cool. Thank you. And by the way, hit the like button. I think Johnny's holding a raffle to give away $300,000 if you're randomly picked. Maybe not. I don't know. Edwin Crane says Nita Strauss is a badass. Yeah, listen, man. Alice Cooper did not choose his guitarist lightly. Alice pretty much has his choice of who's who that would want to play as Alice Cooper's lead guitarist. Nita Strauss is a killer player. There's another great example.
Mm-hmm. Was this the show here?
Mm-hmm.
Was this the lineup?
Let's see. Warrant was up there. Night Ranger, Queensryche, Kix. Yeah, and Kix is looking at the possibilities of a new album working out. They're talking about it. It's a money thing.
It's a money thing. Yeah, I mean they went down the economics of it. They want to make sure they get the right producer who doesn't work for free. That makes sense.
And travel and getting everyone together. It's not cheap, but they're in talks, and that's always enlightening because we were talking about Kix last week. Another great band. By the way, happy belated birthday to Mark Slaughter, whose birthday was July 4th. It's very cool. Steelheart, Mike Mativic. Did you watch a video for them, Paulie, at M3?
Nope. I'm
curious because it looks, the way he's singing in that photo looks like he's hitting that note.
Yeah.
Bill Cosby's on my mind. You try to make him stop touching women with pudding pops, and the jail let him go.
Oh, Jay Hannon just chimed in. Oh.
Yeah, you can't say that. Absolutely. Like Jay said, she's a very well-respected player. And
by the way, if you guys want to go back a little bit, Google Jennifer Batten.
I met her. I met her when I was a kid.
Jennifer Batten, Batten.
Jennifer Batten and Robin, right? Batten and Robin? That was yes.
I asked her if she wanted to come on this show. This was like a year ago. And she's like,
on this show?
Well, the channel.
Any night but Tuesdays, Johnny. Any night but Tuesday.
That's what she said. She said that.
Yes.
And then she also said, well, she wanted to take a break from doing the shows because she had just done a show and it didn't go too well.
Yeah, she did play with Michael Jackson back when Michael Jackson was doing the Thriller and and Bad tours. She's a phenomenal guitar player.
Yeah.
she
Anyway, she started doing
is.
her own shows. She started doing her own thing. So now she does her own.
Yeah, and she's very cool. She's very cool. Great White also played. I heard they did really well at that show.
Yeah, Great White. Look, I saw some people posting about Great White and talking about the station nightclub fire and stuff. That was so long ago.
Enough of that. Jesus Christ.
And I had an issue with it for a long time because I had friends that died in that fire.
So did Great White. They lost
Yeah.
one of their bandmates and friends.
But was interesting.
Look, it's a tragedy.
Yeah, and by the way, after sitting down and talking to the guys in Great White about it, I get it. Nobody is more beat up by it than Mark. Mark is really, really
devastated.
Really
He's
devastated
scarred for
by
life with that.
For life. So shit went bad. It's cool. Tragedy.
And it's not the band's fault either. It's fucking management's fault. And the club's fault.
And the club owners.
Absolutely. It's not the band's fault. They suffered loss too.
But the interesting thing about it was people were shitting all over Mitch, like Mitch had anything to do with it. Which and I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Mitch Malloy, although he is staggeringly good looking.
Johnny and I saw him up close. Both of us had boners and didn't know why.
He's the most beautiful woman you'll ever see.
From the back. Yeah, Mancuda fainted.
I was getting all hot and bothered.
There's no shame in admitting it. That guy is a good looking chick.
We were watching him eat a hot dog.
He was something. He is something special. And oh, by the way, a great singer too.
He's a singer too. Yes, he's a singer also.
A great singer for Great White, not the right singer for Van Halen. No. But what a super guy. I mean, with his looks and his voice, he should be bigger. He should have made it as a huge star.
Should have been bigger a long time ago.
Yes,
not today.
This is the biggest recognition he'll get right now is Great White,
which is sad because the guy is talented. And yeah, I mean, Jesus, can you imagine if he got the kind of breaks that Bon Jovi got? He's a better singer than Bon Jovi. He's got a better voice than John Bon Jovi. He's not a great songwriter.
But that's the thing I was about to say. John Bon Jovi is a terrific songwriter, and he is absolutely one of the best frontmen of the 80s. Right. Nobody knows how to connect with an audience like John Bon Jovi.
Right. No, he's fantastic. He learned from the best. He learned from Springsteen, and he learned from Mick Jagger, and he learned from David Lee Roth. And, the guy took notes, and nobody works harder than John Bon Jovi. Make no mistake about it. The work ethic is not even questionable. Nobody has worked harder in music than John Bon Jovi to get where he's gotten, and more power to him, especially given his limitations as a singer.
And he's
certainly done a fantastic job. There are guys that are great singers that can't, and we've talked about this before, Robert Mason and Mitch Malloy and some of these guys that are fantastic singers that just didn't have what it took to break through to be. Can you imagine if their talent was matched by their work ethic and their luck?
Oh, please. And again, Bon Jovi is another good-looking guy in the music scene that you're like, motherfucker, I'm so jealous of that guy.
But for musical genres, there's such a small window,
right,
where you can fit right in and become the next Bon Jovi.
Well, and that's the thing, though. A guy like Mitch Malloy had the looks, he had the voice, he didn't have the vehicle.
Yeah.
He didn't have the vehicle. I mean, Bret Michaels has the looks, can write a song, has the vehicle.
Kip Winger.
Kip Winger, Jenny Lane.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, I mean, so many of these guys, Mark Turing, guys that have, hi Lemmy, guys that are nowhere near as good looking and don't have the vocal range that a guy like Mitch Malloy or a guy like Robert Mason has. And can't get that break. Didn't get that break. Music is a lot of work, a lot of effort moving forward, and a significant amount of luck.
No, look, we all know that from Popcorn the band. I mean, we worked our asses off, and all it takes is one fucking stupid chimp member of the band to fuck us up, and we came this close to being big. We wouldn't be on this podcast. Shit, we'd be playing arenas right now if you know.
I think
rogue JoJo the Chimp member.
I think with popular music, I think luck, you know, is even bigger than talent.
Well, look, the harder I work, the luckier I get. You know, I mean,
yeah, that's the other thing is hard work can create luck. I have a dog that's yelling at me to feed her. This is the most vocal she's been in days. So I have to go feed the dog.
Go feed her.
Sorry.
We'll hold down the fort
Later.
Thank you.
By the way, just quickly, so you guys can, I'll throw a grenade in the room. DK Wilson, what do you guys think of Miles Kennedy? I think Miles Kennedy is a fantastic singer who oversings on every goddamn song.
No!
Wow.
Well, there you go. So,
oh wait, you're back.
Yeah, well, she sat down, so she's gonna. She
well, you better dive on that grenade.
Hang on,
No.
you just said something.
No, I stand by it. I think Miles is a
Kennedy,
fantastic
who?
singer.
Miles Kennedy, who?
Fantastic singer, but he oversings on everything. He's got Stevie Nicks vibrato. He sounds like a bleeding goat a lot of the time.
Wow.
He does.
Zounds. So yeah, hit the like button for Bleeding Goats. There you go. Zounds. Speaking of Bleeding Goats, Bang energy drink, perfect to douche with if you're in the farm industry. There you go. Bang energy.
Hellstorm's
drink,
right. Whitfield Crane is a pretty good singer, but I don't think it's weird. Ugly Kid Joe never got any credit either. Better band than they get credit for.
I think they were okay, and they kind of came in plain Jane really at the tail end of.
Yeah, they were really at the end.
You know, really at the end. I mean, they're, you know, like I said, I like Ugly Kid Joe. I liked them live too. I just thought really plain Jane and really, you know, at the very, you know, cusp of the transition to grunge.
By the time Ugly Kid Joe came out, we were done.
Yeah,
it was over. We were done with it.
I bought them anyway.
Yeah, I
bought them on the same day. I bought Green Jelly.
Green Jello.
I didn't have to buy
Green
them.
Jello for St. Patty's Day. You can make jigglers with little things in the middle that no one will notice till they eat them. Jigglers, those jigglers.
Wow.
Yeah,
I would disagree. I'll disagree with you there, old man Dan. Slash with Miles and a Conspirator are better than Guns N' Roses? No.
really?
No. I don't. Slash with Miles aren't even as good as Snake Pit.
Come on,
That's
you're not gonna argue anyone against Guns N' Roses. They're one of the biggest bands in the world. Come on, it's not even worth a vocal.
Yeah, no, that's trolling, is what that is. The second lineup of Snake Pit should have been better too, and it didn't happen. But that
I like
second
the first lineup. I like
first
the
lineup
first
is great.
lineup a lot.
Eric Dover was a surprisingly good singer, but the second lineup with Rod Jackson, that was filthy. That was a good filthy version of Snake Pit.
I saw them. I saw the first lineup of that. I ran into that guy in the back of the.
Who,
back
Eric?
Of the, yeah.
Eric was in a band called Jellyfish.
I remember. Baby's coming back, right?
Maybe.
Yeah. Baby's coming back. Baby's coming back. Oh no. It was with the giant baby in the video.
Yeah, Jellyfish. I think he only played guitar in Jellyfish, but then
I remember.
He came back. He came and sang on that first Snake Pit record. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, and crushed it. I mean, Beggars and Hangers On is a great song.
Speaking of crushed it, which is like crushing the spirit of a man who married you. Let's wish a happy 39th anniversary to Ozzy Osbourne, the Prince of Darkness, and his shrill shrew of a wife, Sharon.
Oh, Ozzy!
I was 39 years of this torturous bullshit, and I've only slept with a few hundred other women in the interim to get away from this woman.
Is it me, or has nobody ever seen Sharon Osbourne and Edith Bunker in the same room?
Oh, Ozzy!
All right, it's not that big a jump.
Royalty contract.
By the way, that was an interesting thing. Did you see the Ozzy comment about shredding guitar players? Fuck you. I love you. I love you, Oz.
What did it say? What was it?
He was talking about hair metal guitar players and how they were doing. How Andrew Watt is playing guitar in the new Ozzy records, and he was talking about how all the hair metal guitar players would just all they would do is play and the widdly stuff. I'm like, fuck you! You were the guy that brought those guys to fame.
Dude,
if it weren't for Ozzy, there wouldn't be a Randy, there wouldn't be a Jake, and there wouldn't be a Zach. Fuck you!
Three of the greatest players that pulled your fucking train through the fucking history books. What are you talking about?
Shitting on hair metal guitar players.
I just want you all to know I don't like all the hair players, even though all my music has been with hair players. I like guys like whoever my wife tells me to like nowadays. They're the best.
Pot, kettle, black. Fuck, Oz.
Come on, Ozzy.
You.
We love you, man.
I love you, Ozzy, but come on. That would be that's like Kiss making fun of bands who wear makeup. Knock it off.
You know, we weren't even going to put the makeup on, but we just did it because the fans demanded it.
Oh, we did it for a nominal fee.
And that's all, just the fans and a nominal fee. In fact, we were very opposed to using Ace's makeup and Peter's makeup at all, but we just want to satisfy the fans.
It was just such a weird thing to read. I'm like, oh no.
I wonder if Ozzy even knows he's been married to Sharon 39 years.
Here's a great one. It's up on
again.
Let's see if I can find it. I'll put the link in the chat.
That's great.
Years ago, I was talking. I did an interview with Ozzy on a radio station I used to work at here in Phoenix, and he's supposed to be promoting his new album, and he's talking about how No More Tears was a better record. It's hilarious. He's like Oz, you got this new album coming. Hey, I'm gonna tell you, it's not as good as No More Tears. What the fuck are you doing?
I'd rather you buy a second copy of No More Tears remastered than the drivel I'm putting out now.
If I can, I'm going to find it. I think the file is called "Even Ozzy Hates His New Record."
Is this for the one that he's working on right now?
Yes, he's talking about this new one because Andrew Watt is playing guitar on it again, and he's like,
"Hey Zach, Dong."
Hey Zach,
I gotta find the link. It's fucking hilarious.
That's great. Yeah. So 39 years of Sharon, tasting other pussy on Ozzy's cock, dealing with her shrill voice for 39 years. I stuck it in her bum the other day, and she didn't know it was in another woman's fudge factory an hour before.
No.
Why does your cream stick feel like it's been in another woman, Ozzy?
I don't know, darling. Jesus. Everyone has been ripped off by Sharon. Everyone.
Oh, yes, it's called Ozzy Admits He Doesn't Like Scream.
Well, wait, Scream was an album he did a couple of years back.
Yeah, multiple years ago. I'm not talking. Yeah.
Okay.
No.
So not the one he's working on right now.
No. The new one he's talked is where he made the comment about the hair guitar players.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
I've only got a player you won't like.
Yeah. Well, nobody liked Gus G either. That's why. There you go. I put that in the.
And he wanted to get paid, so Sharon kiboshed him. He's not getting another shot at that. If he wants money.
I remember seeing him at NAMM. He came in. John, you see these guys that come in and they pose in front of like the big like pictures of them, like in front of their signature guitars and stuff.
Sure.
And he comes in to get photographed for that, and he looked like he wanted nothing to do with it.
This is what, Zach or
Gus
Dave?
G.
Oh, Gus G.
Gus
yeah.
G. You
know who else didn't want Gus to have anything to do with it? Sharon, because Gus wanted to get paid. Gus is like, so I get part of this money, right? No, not your contract. But Sharon, you're not even involved with the guitar company.
I stuck my nose in there just a little bit. make sure Ozzy got his piece, which is actually 100% of your piece.
God bless you, Sharon Osbourne, you shrew. Anyway, 39 years of Ozzy putting up with that shit. So happy anniversary. Happy anniversary to all that.
Oh, gosh.
There you go.
Hello?
Let's see.
Is this thing on?
Hello? 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 Sharon stopped the power. She owns part of the power company too. How many? Let me ask you something. Okay. So just a survey in the room, a survey in the chat.
In the
survey
chat.
in the chat. And before you take this survey, leave a thumbs up on the video, please, because why not? Survey in the chat. So you could have Ozzy's success, you could have Ozzy's fame, you could have Ozzy's fortune, but you've gotta be married to Sharon Osbourne for 39 fucking years. Would you? Yes or no? So you get all of Ozzy's fame, fortune, but you got his wife, and that includes his kids. You got to have his kids too, but you got to deal with Sharon. Bless you. Chat going up in the chat before you answer. Johnny's setting up the survey. Let's see how many people would put up with 39 years of Sharon as the wife in exchange for all of Ozzy's fame and fortune. You're a legend. You're beloved by millions of fans. You have wonderful hit albums. You're the Prince of Darkness. You live in a giant house with a multi-$100 million bank account. Johnny, where's that survey? You had one job.
I'm doing 20 things here.
Why? You had one job.
Johnny's figuring out ways to change his lights.
Okay. I don't know if I spelled any of this right, but let's see what happens.
Oh, God. You spelled Sharon Osbourne, Ozbourn?
You were hurrying me, so there you go, John.
You can't spell Osbourne?
No, I can't.
All right. Forgive the spelling error, but would you be married? Here's your survey in the chat. Let's see the answers. And the chat goes wild with the votes. Suddenly, wow.
I like yuck. Yuck is a good answer.
Yeah, yuck is what I answered, actually.
It's what I answered.
All right, we'll check the results of that in a minute. So there you go. What about you, Johnny? What did you vote? I voted yuck. What did you vote?
I can't vote.
Why not?
What? It won't let me vote.
It's your channel.
I can't. Well, because I created it, I can't do it. I'll just put no.
Nah, right now my mother's going, maybe.
Because I'm not even 39 years old, so it's not possible.
I'm 29. It's getting younger every year. There you go. All right. As those votes roll in, so what music were you guys listening to this weekend? I seem to focus for July 4th weekend. I focused in on Def Leppard. Bless you. Hysteria and Adrenalize specifically. I focused in on those two albums this whole weekend, and I just played over and over those two albums, and I just realized they are, I mean, I knew this already, but when you realize what masterpieces those albums are, and I watched a making of video, a great making of video for Hysteria, just like walking you through the process of each song and what they all put into it, and all of what it was before and after Mutt Lange came on, and they show you here's what it was originally, and then Mutt came in and did this, and this, and you're like, holy shit, what a different album that would have been without Mutt Lange. It's incredible the amount of difference that they did. And what's really funny is they started with a different producer because they couldn't get Mutt Lange at first for Hysteria. He wasn't available. And they basically, they asked him, he said, I'm sorry, I got to turn you down. Good luck. And they hired another guy. And then it just wasn't working out with him. They weren't happy with him. They spent like millions of dollars to buy him out of his contract. And then Mutt basically said, you know what? I'm going to help you guys out at this point. And he jumped back in. And then this album came to be basically Mutt Lange's masterpiece, working with Def Leppard. And you watch this show, this documentary, Paulie, and you see just like how much went into it that came out of Mutt's writing, Mutt's mixing. I mean, it blew my mind. That's the last album Steve Clark played on, with the exception of I think like one solo on one song he wrote for Adrenalize.
Well, let me say this: the guy you're thinking of is Jim Steinman.
That got bought out. The producer that got bought out.
Jim Steinman, who's the guy that wrote all of the Meatloaf songs. So Hysteria would have sounded like Bat Out of Hell. Would have been way more opus, majestic. Like it would have been more like a Queen album. Which, by the way, at the time, Def Leppard liked to fashion themselves in the same realm of Queen.
Sure.
Which, by the way, time has shown Def Leppard has earned their place to be alongside a band like Queen.
Absolutely.
Now, historically, but at the time, you got to understand, at the time, they had put out High and Dry, then Pyromania, and, obviously On Through the Night, but that didn't really do much.
Yeah.
High and Dry, then Pyromania, to come out and say, hey, we're going to be as big a band as Queen. We belong up there with Queen and T-Rex and David Bowie, was a ballsy statement.
Absolutely.
To make. It was really cocky, almost borderline Kevin Dubrow in its arrogance. So Jim Steinman would have been the kind of guy to create a bombastic record like that. We can thank our deity of choice that didn't happen, because I would have fucking hated Jim Steinman's production on Def Leppard's Hysteria. Mutt Lange was the right guy. Mutt Lange has the it. He knows how to get sounds out of that band, and Foreigner and AC/DC and so many of these other bands, and Shania Twain. I mean, Mutt Lange is beyond reproach.
Loverboy.
Jim Steinman producing Hysteria would have been, in my eyes, a massive failure.
Huge mistake.
I would have hated it.
That would have been 7-8 years too late.
Who produced Pyromania?
Mutt Lange.
That was Mutt. And that was their first real breakout album.
Right, yeah. No, Jim Steinman is a fantastic producer, but not for Def Leppard.
Absolutely.
It's just not, Jim Steinman is a guy like, he's the right guy for Meatloaf. He would have been the right guy for Bryan Adams or Michael Bolton. He's a very bombastic, almost Broadway-like
he's a visionary.
He's a visionary,
huge visionary.
That's the kind of stuff that he does. It's very big. It's very meant for the live stage. It's not rock and roll. He's not a rock and roll. I mean, Bat Out of Hell is not really a rock and roll album. It's almost like a rock opera.
Yeah, very much like a rock opera. Especially Paradise by the Dashboard Light. It's a story.
And 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Brilliant record for what it is. And even Bat Out of Hell too. I'll do anything for love, but I won't do that. Phenomenal song for what it is. Not my thing, but clearly a brilliant piece of work. That formula wouldn't, in my opinion, have worked with Def Leppard.
I concur.
We should be thankful that happened that way.
Let me go out on a limb and say what I'll probably get slapped by some people and praised by others, but this is why I believe Mutt Lange gave Def Leppard their sound.
Sure.
You may say, oh, okay, well, it was Phil Collins, it was Steve Clark. Yes, and Joe and the whole night. But the sound that you associate right now with Def Leppard are those layers of chorus and all those layers of guitar after guitar. All of that, by the way, is Mutt Lange. It's all Mutt Lange.
By the way, very much like Queen, but not reminiscent of Queen. What I'm saying is Queen did that too. They had layered guitars and layered vocals, but in a different way. So the style was similar, but not plagiaristic. Like when the Darkness came out. By the way, I will admit I liked I liked The Darkness. I thought The Darkness was cool. Silly as fuck, but I liked them.
They were fun. They were fun.
But they were produced by the same guy that produced Queen, Roy Thomas Baker, who also produced the first couple of Cars records. If you go and listen to the background vocals on the Cars debut album for Just What I Needed and Best Friend's Girl, those big gang background vocals are lifted right off of Queen records. They just basically took the same vocal style and laid it into a new wave band, and it worked.
Listen to Bohemian Rhapsody, and the way they layered that.
But what Mutt Lange did was he took the idea, the vision that Joe Elliott and Steve Clark and Phil Collin had for the band, and said, okay, we want to be like Queen. So Mutt Lange said, okay, here's how I can make you sound like Queen without sounding like Queen. Mm-hmm. And it was a brilliant thing to do. And by the way, Mutt Lange is responsible for the great AC/DC albums too. I love the first 6 AC/DC records. I love the ones that were produced by Harry Vanda and George Young. I think they're great, raw, fucking amazing punk/hard rock records. They're very punky sounding to me. That said, when Mutt Lange put his hands on AC/DC, they went to stadiums.
Bill Cosby put his hands on a lot of people and didn't achieve that sort of success. Maybe I should have had Mutt Lange.
When Mutt Lange grabbed, when he did Back in Black and what he did with For Those About to Rock, those were massive jumps in sound for AC/DC. Massive.
For Those About
jumps.
to Rock is a legendary
sounds,
song.
They're huge.
Yeah.
Huge records.
This goes to show a producer, the right producer or the wrong producer, can make or break you huge.
Yep. He took over, and when Mutt Lange took over AC/DC, they became a different band. When Mutt Lange took over Foreigner, they became a different band. When Mutt Lange took over, Def Leppard, they became a different band. There's something to be said. Excuse me. There's something to be said for that guy's touch. He had whatever it was that the band needed at the time.
Yeah, and make no mistake, what was it? Pour some Sugar on Me was not going to be on the record.
No.
And he said, absolutely, you need to write that song. I mean, he basically went with them, and he's like, yeah, not yet. It's not done yet. This was an album they set out to be basically a greatest hits album out of the gate. All filler, all hits, no filler. Filler? You want me to filler?
Mutt is the guy. Mutt is the guy that, Mutt did for Def Leppard what Bob Rock did for Metallica. Now, there's an argument to be made that what Bob Rock did for Metallica changed Metallica. But look, Metallica, when they were when they were putting out Kill 'Em All and Ride the Lightning and Master of Puppets and even to a lesser degree and Justice for All, they were selling 2 million, 3 million records, which, by the way, was
great for a thrash band.
It's great today, but when you've got bands that were selling 9, 10 million records, like the Guns N' Roses and the Pearl Jams and stuff, you needed somebody to bring you to that next level, and Bob Rock took them to another level.
But also remember, it was great for a thrash band, especially one that's not getting radio play.
Right.
But I mean, I say this with all sincerity. I literally look at Hysteria as one of the most perfect albums ever made in both production, in both writing, in playing. It's literally start to finish. It's one of those listen through albums. You don't skip a song, and they got 7 big hits out of it. And the others are great too.
It's interesting too, because for me, the worst song on Hysteria is either Gods of War or Run Riot. And they're both fucking great songs.
Gods of War is a personal favorite.
But see, that's what I'm saying. For me, those two songs, when you go down look, the whole first side, Women, Rocket, Animal, Love Bites, Pour Some Sugar on Me, Armageddon It. There are bands that will be in this industry for 50 fucking years that won't write an album side like that.
No way.
Side two is weak overall in comparison to that first side. You got God's of War, Don't Shoot Shotgun, Run Riot, Hysteria, Excitable, and Love and Affection. Those songs, in comparison to the first side, aren't the same. With the exception
but it's just the placement they put it on the album. They just wanted you to listen through and just keep going, you know.
But can you imagine though? Well, but see, back then,
no, they knew there's a formula to work.
Right. There's track number 1, then track number 2 is the single, then a filler in 3,
right.
A ballad in 4.
I remember when I bought that record for the first time. I remember you only played the first side. You never flipped it over because you didn't have to. You know,
I just let it play through. It's such a good album. Oh,
it's fairly flawless. I mean, you know,
it's as perfect as I could see.
It's as perfect an album as you're going to get. Then they were fucked when they came up with Adrenalize. I mean, there's no way you can follow a record like that.
But they did a great job on it. It's a great album.
Yeah, that said, Let's Get Rocked, Make Love Like a Man, Stand Up.
Why do I think of Mitch Malloy when I hear that song?
Holy shit! I mean, my God, there's
White Lightning is an epic song and a tribute to Steve Clark.
There's still for a quote unquote letdown record, and by the way, it wasn't, but for a quote unquote letdown record, this is the problem we had with the music industry back then. And I use the Kid Rock analogy all the time because when Kid Rock came out with Devil Without a Cause, he sold 11 million copies plus, but at the time, the platinum I have on my wall says 11 million. But he sold over 11 million albums of that record, and then followed it up with one that only sold 4 million. And that's the problem: is when you get a record like Pyromania, can you follow it up? Yeah, you can. Hysteria, and then you can only go so high. At some point, there has to be a peak, and Hysteria was the peak. Adrenalize was as good a record as Pyromania. It's just on the backside of that peak.
I was Def Leppard out by the time Hysteria was over.
That's the point.
I wasn't.
But that's the point.
When I heard Adrenalize and Let's Get Rocked came out, I was in. I
thought Let's Get Rocked was just kind of goofy. It had the weird video.
But that's what you love about it. It was cheesy. Goofy. It was tongue in cheek. It was a fun song, but it sounded cool and it had that infectious little beat, you know?
There's also
pop.
something. Yeah,
it's a pop song is what it is.
Was a pop.
I loved it.
Def Leppard became a pop band. One of the things that happened with Def Leppard is something that would go on to happen later with Hootie and the Blowfish, who, by the way, I am not a fan of that band at all.
Me neither.
That said, Cracked Rear View is a phenomenal fucking record. The problem is we couldn't get away from it. And when you can't get away from a record, you start to suffer artist fatigue. And I think Hysteria was one of those records. I think Hysteria, because 8 of the fucking 11 songs on the record were all over the radio for 2.5 fucking years.
Does that happen now, though? Because you have so much access to so much stuff now.
Some bands.
You really don't have to, you're not really forced stuff now like you were back in the day where MTV only played that one thing, you know?
Well, everything is a 6-week or an 8-week marketing plan now. Is we'll release this song for 6 weeks and then we'll go to the next song for 6 weeks because we have a much shorter attention span as Americans than we used to because there are so many other opportunities for us to consume music.
Yeah.
Back when
everything, not just music, everything.
Yeah. Back when MTV
we're in a golden age of media.
You know, Keith Campbell, we've always been force-fed corporate rock. We've always been I mean, Elvis was corporate rock. Jerry Lee Lewis was corporate rock. Jerry Lewis was corporate rock. The Beatles were corporate rock. I mean, we've always been. It's a machine. It's a business, and their job is to sell records. I hate the idea that people are like, oh man, fucking music, man. All they do is force feed us bullshit. Yeah, because it's a business. It's commerce. That's what. If you want to make art, write songs and give them away for free. That's art. Art is to be given away for free and appreciated.
Listen, we're gonna bring back Napster so nobody can make money. So,
Cheech, what music is played daily on my station? The greatest songs of all time. The greatest rock songs of all time are played on my radio station every day. And by the way, despite the fact that we've heard them all 9 million fucking times, I can still pick up the phone and, hey, can you play a request for me? Sure. What do you want to hear? Freebird. Are you serious? Yes, they're serious. There are people who still want to hear Freebird and still.
It is one of the greatest solos ever. So
they still want to hear Freebird. They still want to hear Stairway to Heaven. And I've told this story before on the show, but it bears repeating. We're doing a coat drive. It's November for the winter coat drive. By the way, coat drive in Phoenix it gets cold here, but not really. But we're doing a coat drive for a homeless shelter type deal, and we're playing at the time. I think it's "Born on a Bayou" or "Run Through the Jungle" or some Creedence song is on the radio. Now I'm 53 years old. Creedence Clearwater Revival happened when I was like fucking 2 or 3. Like it was over. Creedence Clearwater Revival is the great Vietnam War band. Now go back and listen to Creedence.
Well, there's Crosby, Stills, and Nash. So those are also good bands. And fuck.
And it's there. If you go back and listen to Creedence, it's punk as fuck. It's really good to listen to. That said, their prime was I was like 2 or 3 years old. Point of the story is we're sitting in the parking lot collecting coats for people, and these 3 girls come out of the mall, and the oldest one couldn't have been old enough to drink. She might have been 19 or 20. And "Run Through the Jungle" or "Born on the Bayou" was coming out of the PA speakers, and she comes out and she looks at her friend and she goes, "Holy shit, Creedence, this is my fucking jam."
I guess she still lives with grandma.
Point is, there's a reason why American Idol does Beatles Week. There's a reason why the NFL, when you go to an NFL game, you're hearing fucking Steppenwolf and you're hearing Black Sabbath and you're hearing AC/DC, because those classic rock songs, as much as I'm bored to shit playing them, it's not about what I want to hear. It's about serving the audience. It's for the fans. And the fans get what the fans want.
We do it all for the fans. It's not about the money for Kiss. It's about the fans.
You don't listen to the songs, though, do you? Like you can hit mute.
No.
You have a timer. Like you can see. Like
Paul's got his noise deadening headphones
right?
when it.
No, if you've ever watched, we do a live video sometimes during the show. I run the board, and when we're playing all the music and stuff, the volume is down. We're setting up the next break. We're setting up I know what's playing. It's right there in front of me on the screen, and I know how much time is left on the song. But more often than not, the volume goes down, and we're setting up to do whatever we're going to do next, whether it's an interview or a feature or a game, and we're taking calls. Like unlike a lot of radio stations, we're actually there, and we're not piped in like Seacrest or Bob and Tom or John Boy and Billy, whatever other fucking morning show you want to talk about.
Rub
we're
and
actually
tug.
there.
Rub and tug, yeah.
Rub and tug, yes. Weenie in the butt. And we actually answer our own phones. So we have a producer. When we get overloaded with stuff, we tell them, hey, grab these guys' screen and put them on hold and let them know we'll get to them as soon as we can. But Mark and I answer our own phones, and we spend some time talking to the audience to find out A, what they want to hear, B, what's going on in their world, shit like that. Like we have an interactive show. But no, we don't hear. There are certain times when like a song will come up that we haven't played in a while that just sounds good, or we'll punch a song in once in a while that we just feel like playing. But more often than not, like if somebody dies or if there's like some sort of a special event, then we'll break format and just play whatever the fuck we want. But more often than not, seriously, people listen to the radio. They want to hear the songs they love, and the songs they love are Crazy Train and Light My Fire and Dreams and Freebird and Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting, and what you expect they would want to hear. All the same. They're all it's the same shit every day, in different times of the day, and people love it. It's just like your favorite reruns. It's just like what we've been talking about, our favorite bands, our favorite TV shows, all that shit. People like comfort food, and classic rock is comfort food. And there's a reason why classic rock stations are the highest rated stations in every city in America. They just are. And more than any other song, rock and roll all night party every day. Out of that song. That's what everyone wants to hear. We do play Kiss Renus Pinkle, but we only play 2 Kiss songs. You want me to kiss Renus's Pinkle? So we don't play UFO because nobody gives a shit. Nobody cares about UFO. No one cares. In Britain. They care about UFO. They never went over big here. Never did. Nope, never.
Is there what's the new classic rock now? Like what year? Like what?
It's not a year. It's a vibe. it's not a year, it's a vibe. Like something like Kenny Wayne Shepherd will fit in with, it depends on what city you're in, depends on what audience, what your audience expectations of the radio station are. For example, we could probably play something like Under the Bridge from the Red Hot Chili Peppers, but it doesn't work with our audience. Our audience has said they want to hear Guns N' Roses, they want to hear Steve Miller, they want to hear Led Zeppelin, they don't want to hear Pearl Jam, they don't want to hear Red Hot Chili Peppers, they don't want to hear Green Day. Those bands have been around long enough to be considered the greatest of all time, but the way our station is set up, they don't want to hear it. It's just like people like Chinese food, but they don't want it from McDonald's.
I like the Chinese food.
Some classic rock.
Then I want another one 3 hours later.
Here's the thing, Mark Dillon. Some classic rock stations do play grunge, except we own another rock station that plays grunge. So grunge for KUPD is their classic rock. Just like the Beatles and the Rolling Stones and Fleetwood Mac is the depth of where we go. We go about as far back as the late 60s, early 70s. We won't go, like, we don't play a lot of Jefferson Airplane. We don't play the Grateful Dead. We don't play like Woodstock rock. We don't play Crosby, Stills, and Nash. We don't play America. We just don't.
Blasphemy. Blasphemy. Why when you play Crosby, Stills, and no, not the Grundle. Not the Grundle. Ah, fuck. Play our songs. Play Crusty, Stills, and Nash.
Bozique, Rival Sons, and Dirty Honey texturally will fit someday, but they're not classic rock. Classic rock is the best of the best. So if I'm playing Rival Sons, all right, I'll explain to you how radio works. It's really about keeping people listening. So let's say I'm playing Rival Sons or I'm playing Dirty Honey, and you tune into my radio station and you hear something that's unfamiliar. Rival Sons, for example. Great band, but there are 6 other stations on your presets. So you go, oh, this sounds okay, but I wonder if there's something better. And you punch over, and the next station is playing commercials. And then the next station is playing Black Dog from Led Zeppelin. And then the next station is playing One from Metallica. And the next station is playing, Longview from Green Day. And the next station is playing Billie Jean, because let's say you like pop stations. And the next station is playing a country song that you love from Brooks and Dunn or whatever it is. Now I've got 6 other radio stations that are playing something familiar that you already like. I'm giving you 6 opportunities to choose something better than my radio station. Because new music is a tune-out. New music from unfamiliar bands is a fucking tune-out. It just is. I wish I could tell you.
You can't compare AC/DC's Back in Black to Dirty Honey.
You said it, or you like that new band you're hearing and you go buy the record. That's not what people do listening to the radio anymore. That's not what we do. We don't have the patience for that. Americans are impatient. Everything is on demand. We want to know what it is right now. And now, because you've got the RDS on your radio, you can already see Rival Sons or Dirty Honey. You can go, all right, Rival Sons, Dirty Honey. Maybe I'll check that out next time around. Boom. They're playing Bad Company. I lose. Boom. True. They're playing, One from Metallica. I lose. Boom. They're playing Guns N' Roses. I lose. Dirty Honey and Rival Sons, as cool as they are. Yeah, and Mr. Hellstorm, classic rock stations don't play much Guess Who because nobody cares. No Sugar Tonight, American Woman. We're done. That's it.
I hate those songs.
But those are the only songs.
Johnny's the first person to switch you off, Paul. He's like,
I switched to AM.
Paul.
Hellstorm, we do play Black Crows. We play Black Crows.
Yeah, they're
that's just the nature. That's the nature of radio. The nature of radio is, and you do the same thing when you're flipping through television. You flip through television, all right? You're looking at your
or YouTube
channel guy, or yeah. But you're looking.
They see
Mitch and Dawn on right now.
This man.
But what's the funny thing? What's the funny thing? What is everybody doing now? All these networks now are streaming Seinfeld. They're streaming The Office. Friends. These are all old classic rock style television shows. These are the shows that are over, that have done their own thing. If you have a choice, if you're flipping through your channels, you have your channel guide up and you're flipping through, you're like, no, Seinfeld, I'm in. No, Family Guy, I'm in. No. It's the same exact behavior. We want what we like. We're not out to be re-educated. What were we talking about last week? the Kiss documentary. Why? Because it's about a 50-year-old fucking band that we love. If that documentary was about Rival Sons or that documentary was about Dirty Honey, nobody would give a shit.
No one cares.
It's just, that's the nature of America. We want what we like. We like Pepsi. We like Coke. If there was a new drink, if there was a brand new drink that came out and you had a choice of Coke or this drink, that's why Budweiser is the number one selling beer in the world. And you know why? Because it's everyone's second choice.
To Bang energy drink, to delicious Bang energy drink.
If you walk into
Spindrift,
if you walk into your favorite bar of choice and they say, what do you have? You go, I want beer. And they go, I'm sorry, we don't have that. You go, give me a Bud Light. It's the fallback. It's
the
comfort
familiarity.
Food.
We like familiarity. We like comfort food.
So that answers your radio question for the week. Here endeth the lesson.
Speaking of comfort, so the results, well done, Paulie. Here's the results of our survey.
I hate it. By the way, I hate that that's the way it works. I really do.
Here's the results of our survey today.
Would
you be married to Sharon Osbourne for 39 years for all of Ozzy's money and success? The answer, no, 52%. Yuck, 34%. That was my vote. And 13% of you would actually eat that shrewish wench pussy. So God bless that 13% of you that are watching this show drunk. They're watching this show drunk right now. God bless you. But there you go. You sold your soul to the witch of rock and roll. Very nice. And yeah, Sharon certainly does anal. Unfortunately, she's the one with the strap on. So also, let's see. Kurt 5150 binging Lost. Rock on. Thank you. Kurt 5150 asked, how come I wasn't listening to American music on July 4th? Let me ask you something. How come your fireworks were all made in China?
Waka waka.
Bang zoom. Okay.
Hey, I wonder what kind of shoes are you wearing right now? Where are they made?
Viva la Mexico. Let's see. So there you go. Yeah. Sharon does anal, but she's wearing the strap on, unfortunately. She's the one giving it.
Don't. Here's a band for you to go back and dig into. And I put these guys up on Facebook the other day. And this was a band that there's two bands that I'll mention here, but one is significantly better than the other. That came out in the 90s that carried the torch for the kind of rock that we love on this show, the 80s metal. It wasn't metal, but it was hard rock. And that is Brother Cane and Cry of Love. Those are two bands you might want to check out. Not to be confused with Cry Wolf.
Now, I bought the Cry of Love album.
The one with Peace Pipe on it?
I don't remember a damn thing about it, but I recognize the title as one I bought.
Right.
What was the single off of that, or the attempted single?
Peace Pipe, Bad Thing, and Too Cold in the Winter. There were 3 singles on it that were big.
I think Peace Pipe was the one.
Yep, there were 3
my eye.
3 singles on that record that were great. Brother Cane put out 3 albums, and they are fucking outstanding. The first one has Got No Shame and Hard Act to Follow on it.
That one I have.
The second one was called Wish Pool. That had And Fools Shine On. And the third one, or I think Wish Pool was second or third. I could take that back. Seeds and then Wish Pool. And And Fools Shine On was the biggest song in 1994 on rock radio.
I don't think I have their third album, though. When did that come out?
You would like mid-late 90s. Fantastic band. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Just to give you an idea, Roman Glick, who's now the bass player in Jackal, was in Brother Cane. Damon Johnson, who was with Alice Cooper and Thin Lizzy and a bunch of other bands, was the guitar player and singer. And they were a fantastic band. Brother Cane and Cry of Love are 2 bands you should probably go check out if you haven't.
Very cool. That's your homework assignment tonight, kids.
Yep.
This is interesting. I didn't know this. You probably might, Paulie, though. And Johnny, I'll pay you $1,000 if you know this.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I'm going to text it to Johnny, so you have to pay him.
Yeah, no, really. I didn't say it was in American currency.
Shit.
Well, where is that Monopoly set?
Yeah.
Smithers, we have to pay him. Or I'll do the Sharon Osbourne where
You're not getting paid.
Yes, gaming with the first Cry of Love record is better than the second one because the second one features Robert Mason on lead vocals.
who we like.
Yes.
Did you know who was, after Steve Clark died in Def Leppard, do you know some of the people that were up? I'll start with Johnny because you probably know this, Paulie. Do you know some of the people who were up for that guitarist slot, which in Adrenalize, Phil Collin played the whole thing, basically doing the dual guitars himself in the studio. But when Vivian Campbell took that slot, who before Vivian was being considered? I'm looking for two names that I did not know until a recent interview with Rick Allen.
Adrian Smith.
That is one of them.
Okay.
You're Googling. I see already.
No, I'm not.
Somebody read Blabbermouth this week.
Yeah.
No,
Somebody.
I didn't. Him and Kurt Cobain.
No, Kurt Cobain, you bastard! You ruined the whole story now. By that, my dick shriveled and sucked into my body hearing Kurt Cobain's name. Paulie, do you know the other name? Adrian Smith is interesting. That is one of them.
John Sykes.
John Sykes, very good. Bravo, brother. Bravo. I knew you would know that. John Sykes,
He of the I will never ever release the album that I released that I tried to put together 2 years ago. Remember we got that single from John Sykes like 6 months ago, and then he disappeared again.
Well, hold on. Let me also just acknowledge in the chat, a couple of people also got it. Renus grabbed it. Mark Dillon grabbed it. Let's see. James Baker grabbed both names, and that's it.
Keep in mind,
Kurt 5150 knew it too.
Keep in mind, at that time, Adrian was done with Maiden at the time. So he was doing his own. I think he was doing the ASAP project, which didn't do anything. And then that was before he started guesting on Bruce Dickinson records.
Who do you think would have filled in that slot better between those two?
Sykes,
absolutely, right?
Yeah, Sykes is the right guy. Would have been the right guy for that job. By the way, Vivian Campbell does a fantastic job.
Vivian's great.
But John Sykes has the same groove that Steve Clark had.
Coming off of Whitesnake and Blue Murder at the time.
Yep.
I could just see that blending so well.
Yep.
Plus, especially the stuff he did with Blue Murder.
Yeah, I was going to say, and then imagine the amount of background vocals he brings to that band too.
Oh, the man could sing like a fucking dove. Are you kidding?
Yeah, no, I mean, John Sykes. John Sykes is a lot like Gary Moore in that he is one of the most underrated guitar players in the history of the sport. He never gets anywhere near the credit he deserves as being the guy who made Whitesnake a stadium band. He is a supreme guitar player, a better than adequate lead singer. And because he's so mercurial, he's very similar to Yngwie Malmsteen in that way, that he's not quite the overt outward asshole, but he's difficult to work with to the point where it's not worth the aggravation.
Well, Yngwie, we're going to form a band. It's going to be Yngwie, Sebastian Bach, John Sykes, and I guess Chuck Norris to whip them in line as a producer.
Yeah, Sykes and Mike
and
Johnson
Crosby
brings it up.
And Dave Crosby.
Mike Johnson brings it up. Sykes and Moore both played in Thin Lizzy. They certainly did, but not at the same time.
Yeah, and Sykes did a better job, I think.
Yeah, Sykes. I mean, look, the Thunder
Cold
and
Sweat
Lightning
was
record,
amazing.
Yeah, the Thunder and Lightning record is a fantastic Thin Lizzy record. The unfortunate part about it was Phil was already so fucked up that there was no way that was going to succeed.
I would have loved to have seen, though, what would have happened if Sykes went in. And someone in the chat, by the way, brought up they needed a singer. I think Renus brought it up. But you know what? All of Def Leppard sings well. So, I mean, all of them are doing background vocals. If you watch them in the studio, look up that documentary I was talking about on Hysteria. You'll see they're all doing background vocals. Vivian said when he first joined the band, he thought it was all studio work of basically Joe and Phil. And then he said, when I started playing live with them, I was like, holy shit, the whole band sings like well.
You know, it's an interesting thing with Def Leppard because Joe Elliott does the same thing that Brian Johnson and Ian Gillan and Tom Kiefer and Axl Rose, and that is a lot of falsetto, and it hurt his voice for a long time, and you could hear it. He was starting to strain a little bit, especially live. Listen to some of those live bonus records that come with the expanded versions.
Think about how much touring he did and what that does to his voice.
Yeah, so you got those situations where a singer who sings like that is eventually going to blow his voice out, and Joe Elliott did briefly for a while. And like most of those guys, they realized that time off the road and a little bit of vocal exercise and shit like that allow your voice to come back around. And you'll notice that the new Def Leppard music, a lot like the new Deep Purple music, is nowhere near as aggressive vocally. Like he's not yelling the open to stage fright, I said, welcome to the show. He's not.
That was before Pyromania and up.
Right.
Once Phil came in, he stopped that. Once Phil came in and Mutt Lange came in, that band totally evolved into the Def Leppard that basically sold out the world. And by the way, you mentioned that Psych song that we listened to a while back. He just came out with this weekend a second track off of that upcoming album called Out Alive. It's another video. You guys could look it up at home, check it out on YouTube. John Sykes Out Alive. Not bad. It didn't blow me away. Did you hear it, Paulie?
Yeah, it's again like the first one. It doesn't blow me away.
I like the first one better.
Yeah, I think the riff is good, and then he starts singing cheesy lyrics, and that's the unfortunate part. By the way, going back to Old Man Dan, Gary Moore was a great blues guitar player, but he had an entire career as a metal guitar player before he started playing blues that is equally impressive. Grab stuff like Corridors of Power, or After the War, or Victims of the Future, or the G-Force records, or I mean, Jesus Christ, what a phenomenal guitar player. Doesn't get anywhere near the credit he deserves as a guitar player. But then he switched and re-identified himself or redefined himself as a blues player, and damned if he wasn't great at that too. Hi, Lemmy.
By the way, we were talking about Yngwie earlier. Bozique says in the chat, Yngwie has mellowed out a lot in recent years, not a total a-hole anymore. Well, here's the thing. With that said, he just did an interview saying, the reason I didn't collaborate with Ronnie James Dio when I could have is I don't like to collaborate with anybody.
But at least he was honest. He was honest. Dio is a taskmaster as well, or was a taskmaster. That would not have worked.
But you know what? I like Dio's results better than Yngwie's results.
Well, I know you guys are done at 8, and I got a dog that's just decided she can't wait anymore.
Okay.
So that's happening, and you have a guitar to show. So
I do.
Go.
I have to take off.
Paulie, thank you, brother.
Goodbye.
Good night.
Oh, he's gone.
Good night to the great Neanderthal. Let's see. There we go. Greatest man I have ever met. Neanderthal, everybody. Let's have a big hand for Neanderthal! Paul, admire Paul. Let's see. Just watching the clock. We have to end at 8 tonight. Let's see. Do have a cool show and tell guitar. Let's talk about real quick. Well, let's see. There's a couple of things I want to show you guys. Before we do show and tell, let's talk about the Neil Schon auction, because Neil Schon of Journey is holding a massive auction. The guy has a huge guitar collection. You guys all think I have a big guitar collection, and I do. I have over 300 and something guitars, and that's a big collection. But there are other guys that have also massively huge collections more than me. One of them is Neil Schon of Journey. And Neil owns over 800 guitars. And recently he put up 112 of them up for auction with Heritage Auctions. That's ha.com. Let me check that out. And it's a variety of stuff, a lot of famous stuff from Journey. There's a lot of classic stuff. There's 259 Les Pauls in there. There's a lot of rare and vintage Gibsons in there. There's a ton of stuff that you would expect in an amazing, large, and very well-funded collection like Neil Sean's. And again, this is the guy that, played through all the Journey hits that you love, so he's got the money. He's all around the world looking for these things as he's touring. And of course, people offer you stuff. When you're a rock star, you get offered a lot of stuff. So, there's 259. There's 259 Les Pauls in there. There's just tons of stuff. And yeah, good point. Let's see who brought that up. Bozique brought up Hardline. Yeah, he was in Hardline. He did some solo stuff. Neil's reputation is obviously all over the place, but everyone remembers Journey. That's the big thing. And aside from these, 59 Les Pauls and all these other guitars, there are some of the biggest guitars used to record some of Journey's biggest hits up for auction. In particular is a 77 Black Les Paul that I'm sure Johnny is working on pulling up in a sec. And it was used to record, a lot of Journey Escape, which is, one of their biggest albums ever. You going on there, Johnny? ha.com. Neil Sean.
Yeah, I'll go there. All these other websites have the worst pop-ups.
Brazzers.
They're horrible.
Looking for big black cock? Viagra? Are you sure you don't want Cialis? I'm on cam right now. Sex site. And that's what my mother's looking at right now. Oh, I'm on cam right now. Oh. Go to hornyjewishmothers.com. You'll see me on cam. I'm bearing it all. Yeah. Johnny's on X Hamster. Red Tube.
Wait a minute. Heritage Auctions.
ha.com.
Yeah.
It's the easiest website ever. ha.com. Put in Neil Sean.
How do you spell that? Is it S-C-H-O-N?
Was it S-C-H? Let's see.
It's telling me, unless I misspelled Neil.
There's a few ways to spell Neil. Let's
Is it N-E-I or N-I-E?
Hold on. Let's see.
Where's John Biel?
Nealschon. Neil Sean. Neal, which is the common way to spell Neil, and then Sean, S-C-H-O-N.
Oh, here we go. Oh, look at all
there.
these.
We go. Yeah, 112 guitars. So, and when is the auction, Johnny? It's in July. What's the date? Let's give him a plug.
Time left 24 days.
Okay. So we're looking toward the end of July, and we'll visit back to the auction. There's the prototype for the Jackson Neil Sean guitar. The big one, aside from the 259 Les Pauls, which obviously are going to bring six-figure money, the biggest one is going to be that Journey guitar, that Black Les Paul. It's a 1977, which is the Norlin era. Which again, I love the Norlin era. I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's the Norlin era, blah, blah. Yeah, it's got a Floyd on it. That's one that he recorded a lot of Journey's biggest hits on. What's it at now, Johnny?
Opening bid 200,000.
Okay. So opening at 200. Does it have any bids yet? It's early, so I'm sure it will.
No.
Not yet. Or is the bidding actually open right now?
I don't see any bids on it.
Okay. Well, I'm not sure if the bidding's open or if it will be soon, but either way, I mean, it's a legendary guitar for a Journey fan. This is definitely the star of the show. I mean, again, rock star legendary guitars are always more unique. I mean, there are places you could buy other 59s. This 1977 will go for a fortune. Think about how big these Journey songs are on a lot of them. Think about how massive, what?
Just think how nuts Neanderthal goes every day hearing those songs over
I know.
and over and over.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you play Don't Stop Believing? Just a small town girl. That's Paul jumping out the window the next time someone requests that. I can't take it anymore. No, look, I mean, Journey is the original arena band. I mean, they wrote songs for the arenas, and they're as good as it gets. Send My Love and Stone in Love, and things with Steve Perry, and just amazing stuff. The Journey Escape album, and just terrific classic stuff. That's the one that most of the hits were written on.
There you go.
What does that say?
It won't get that much.
Yeah,
because
I know. Floyd on a Les
Paul.
Paul. Oh, it's been modded. It's a Norlin. Oh, let me tell you something. Randy Rhoads Les Paul, 74, Norlin Les Paul. Ace Frehley, most of his Les Pauls, Norlin Les Pauls. Don't tell me that rock stars aren't going to get a good tone out of Norlin Les Pauls, because that's the biggest tone.
But it didn't have that Floyd on it when it recorded all those hits.
Yeah, I believe it did. I mean, that's his mod. That's his mod. These are his guitars, and that's his mod.
But if that's the guitar what songs were recorded on that guitar?
Read the description. It'll say right there. Go into the description. Scroll down.
Oh, man.
Right there. What does it say?
Don't Stop Believing, Stone in Love, Who's Crying Now?
Don't Stop Believing is arguably one of the biggest hits in music, period. And it's certainly Journey's signature song. How many times have you heard or someone else started singing in the supermarket? Just a small town girl.
See? Wayne. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying, though. The guitar's been modded, and it wasn't in that condition when he recorded those songs.
Okay, so he modded it later.
There wasn't a Floyd on it when he recorded that too.
Okay, so then he modded it later, but it's his mod. It's that guitar. It's his mod. That's the thing.
Wayne will not be in that auction for that guitar.
No?
None of us will.
I guarantee I will not be in that particular guitar. I may look at some others. There's a lot of good stuff at that auction. Check out their website. It's ha.com. There's a lot of good stuff in that auction. Yeah.
That guitar is modded.
You got a Norlin. You got a guitar with a Floyd.
Yeah, and what's really funny is we were joking like a week ago about how we hate Les Pauls that have a Floyd added. But hey, listen, here's the thing. It's different when it's a rock star's guitar. Whatever way a rock star mods a guitar is the way that he's using it. It's coming from the rock star. That's an acceptable mod. Now, make no mistake, if John Mancuda mods the damn thing and adds a Floyd, then I've just killed the value. Yeah. If I'm sitting there hacking away with a chisel and a hammer, but look, and this is coming directly from Neil. Neil is working with the auction house, and you say, oh, why are you getting rid of all your guitars? He's still got like 700 more. So he's okay. He's all right. He's not saying, everyone's like, oh my God, Neil, how could you get rid of this guitar and this guitar? But his words are.
That's interesting though. Why is he getting rid of that guitar?
Well, of course you're gonna give someone a chance to have like some of your expensive stuff, and the way he put it, look, I've used these, I've made these my signature guitars, I've played them to death. It's time for someone else to enjoy those and me to enjoy some of my others. My other guitars need love too. And he's right. I always say this. If you're not using guitars anymore, get rid of them. If you're not playing them, they're meant to be played. They need to be played, And if he's starting
nobody's going to play that. Nobody's going to play that guitar.
I would. I play all my rock star guitars, please.
That guitar is going to be in some dentist's office.
I hope. Well, I hope he plays guitar. If it's on a wall, that guitar deserves better than being on someone's wall. I hope that it's not going to be in a Hard Rock Cafe. I hope that it's going to be played and enjoyed. Leave a thumbs up if you agree with me. Leave a thumbs up on the video because I think I'm right in this. If I bought that and I dropped 200 grand, I've dropped significant amount on guitars in my collection.
Starting out.
And every one of those gets played. Every one. Of course, if the rock star doesn't hurt it after thousands of touring shows, you're not going to hurt it playing at your local pub or in your living room or whatever
that's a Les Paul to Floyd. It's already hurting.
Yeah, it's already hurt. It's screaming for vengeance, as Priest would say. It is what it is, but it's a known rock star guitar. It's a signature guitar. Old Man Dan says it's best. That's why I like player grade guitars. Look, I like guitars I get in immaculate condition from collectors. That doesn't mean they're not getting played when I get my hands on them. You don't have to beat a guitar up. You can play it without beating the shit out of it. Sure, if you gig with it, you're bound to get a ding, a scratch, or whatever on it. But you know what? They're meant to be played. They all need to be played. If you get it in great condition, take care of it, and it'll still be in great condition after you play it. Yeah, but playing it doesn't make it fall apart, What? Well, the dentist is chilly. There you go. When you sue the dentist for touching your pee-pee while you were out, then that's what you should be going for in court, is to get that guitar.
Nobody's pee-pee has teeth.
Well, there are those women with those chatterboxes, those vagina teeth. You know how that goes. There was a movie, by the way, Johnny, I don't know if you know this, called Chatterbox. And it was this movie about this woman's vagina that was haunted, and it had these teeth in it, and it literally used to, no joke, Chatterbox, and it
starring Bill Cosby.
Yeah, right. That was Leonard Part 6.
Ghost Dad.
Yeah, or maybe Chatterbox was just the one where it talked. I know there was a movie where vagina with teeth. Maybe it was called Teeth. Hold on a sec. I've got to look this up now.
Somebody in the chat knows.
Vagina with John Biel. Teeth movie.
John Biel's watching it right now.
John Biel's on Brazos right now. It was called Teeth. Teeth. You can watch the trailer. She goes to the gynecologist's office and her vagina bites the hand. So it's serious. Just watch the trailer. It's true. It's on YouTube. Teeth. Check that out. That's your homework assignment. Leave a thumbs up on the video if you like teeth.
Forever brush your teeth.
Don't forget to brush your teeth. Yeah, I'm here for the checkup. You go to the dentist, you spread your legs apart. I'm here for my checkup. I think I have gingivaginitis. Oh, Christ. Yeah, wow. Please leave a thumbs up on the video for teeth. Thank you, Dane. Dane Zimmerman's looking to buy that Les Paul.
Dane.
Yeah, Dane says if I could get it for $2,500, I'm willing to buy the Les Paul. Little twat of horrors. Yeah, I know a couple of vaginas that have cobwebs on them and then are haunted.
Oh gosh.
Anyway, there you go. So check out on ha.com. That's a fun auction.
So that's the star of the show right there, regardless.
Yeah, that is the star of the show. But they have a lot of cool guitars and all sorts of ranges. We'll talk more about it in the next couple of weeks leading up to the auction. But I want to make everyone aware. Go to ha.com. Check out the Neil Sean guitar auction. 112 cool guitars going on. So that's neat. Let's see. We have a little bit of music news. I'll do that right after show and tell. We're running a little hot tonight, as Van Halen would say. So let's do tonight's show and tell, brought to you by, let's bang through our sponsors. Swiss Picks, the greatest picks grip you can get. Check out Swiss Picks. I gave one to David Shea Gormery for his birthday. I sent him a Swiss pick.
Oh, happy birthday, David Shea Gormery.
There you go.
Gormery.
There you go. So Swiss Picks. Let's also thank our buddies in the greatest pickups ever made. Just getting ready. Vinum Custom Pickups. Vinum Custom Pickups. They will make you just about any tone you want. Craig Vinum is the best guitar winder in the business. Check out Vinum Custom Pickups, maker of the Mancuda Custom. Look at that. Vinum Custom Pickups. They have all sorts of, I do. They have all sorts. I have some in other guitars too, actually. But these are my displays until I get a particular guitar, and Paulie knows what I'm fishing for. That these are being reserved. That these are being reserved for. No, but you're on the right track. So anyway, Vinum Custom Pickups. Check them out. They have all sorts of colors, all sorts of tones. If you want to change the tone in your guitar really well to anything you really want, contact Vinum Custom Pickups. Tell Craig Vinum that Mancuda sent you, and they will take good care of you. Vinum Custom Pickups. Really hot rod your tone. Speaking of hot rod, FU Tone, if you want to hot rod your guitar, FU Tone makes all sorts of very cool hot rod accessories. They have bridges, they have saddles, they have nuts, brass blocks, all sorts of things to give you the sustain and to hot rod your sound. FU Tone, check them out. And of course, Tessie Switch, if you want the greatest kill switches ever made for your guitar, Tessie Switch has the switch you need. You want the kill switch that doesn't fail you, that looks cool, that sounds awesome, made in the highest quality ability. Tessie Switch is the one you want. And of course, when you're done playing guitar, delicious Colonel's Gourmet Popcorn for binging shows like Lost, Veep, Hollywood Treasure, Marvel Super Squad, and anything else I've been on. There you go.
The Wilkinsons.
The Wilkinsons. Check that out. It's actually a very funny show.
That's actually pretty good.
That's an Australian show. I flew over to Australia to film that.
I watched them all.
Yeah, they're very funny. So that's on YouTube, I think, or you could probably stream it. I know it's streamable. Colonel's Gourmet Popping Corn. I am waiting for a shipment from Colonel's Gourmet Popping Corn of their movie popcorn, which is so addictive. It's fantastic. Check out Colonel's Gourmet Popcorn and more, because they have candy, they have sugar-free candy, they have delicious chocolate, they have covered nuts. Fantastic. And if you mention Jay Hannon or Johnny Beane when you go to Colonel's Gourmet, you will get more product. If you mention Mancuda, they're going to hang up on you. They're like, we don't like him. No, I push their product more than anybody. Go to Colonel's Gourmet Popcorn and check them out. They are delicious. Colonel's Gourmet Popcorn and more. Mention Johnny Beane or Jay Hannon, get more product. So you can't have enough Colonel's Gourmet. There he is. Jay Hannon of the great band Gizmachi, the great Jay Hannon.
There he is. He's forcing himself to chew all that delicious popcorn and all those
can't get in his mouth fast enough.
What do you call it? He had all those pounds of bags of chocolate covered cashews.
He cannot get it in his mouth fast enough. That's what she said.
It's delicious.
Delicious. Thank you, Colonel's Gourmet. Okay, so today's show and tell, I said, was related to the fighter jet on this week's flavor of Bang Energy drink, which is Purple Kittles, the new military flavor that tastes just like purple Skittles, but liquid and delicious. It's related to that fighter jet. Oh, and by the way, before I do this, people asked in the chat earlier, I'm sorry I missed it. What is today's t-shirt? Look at that. Invincible versus Omni-Man from the TV show Invincible. You should be watching. Look at Omni-Man kicking the shit out of Invincible. What a great fucking show. I love that show. Oh my God. I wish I had voiceover work on that show. Hint. Amazing, amazing show. If you haven't watched Invincible, check it out. Awesome. Highly recommended. Okay.
Never heard of it.
But you should be watching it, Johnny. It's amazing. It's based on the comic book, which I love. So today's show and tell guitar related to a fighter jet. If you would, Johnny, drum roll, please. Look at that thing.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, baby. Look at that.
Look at that bottom horn.
It makes me horny.
Okay.
You got
There
it?
we are.
Makes me horny.
Got
it? There we go. Okay. This is a BC Rich Stealth. This is a vintage Stealth. They only made a little bunch of these. I think the count was like 183 or something like that. They did not make many of these. And this is one of a few I'm blessed enough to have. This thing is awesome. This is one of the originals. This was made, let's see, this one I think is 1980, let's see, 1984, BC Rich Stealth. This one is a trans ultraviolet over quilted maple. Look at that beautiful wood underneath. Holy shit, I'm getting wood. Do you see that quilted maple under there, Johnny?
No. Oh, on the bottom, yeah.
Well, look at the whole fucking thing is quilted wood.
I see it.
Yeah, it's hard to see because I'm showing a lot of reflection from the lights, but look at how the light on this horn right here is turning a darker purple. That's the ultraviolet part because it's a trans purple. Trans meaning transparent, so you can see the beautiful quilted wood underneath.
That's a purple horn, man.
And ultraviolet. Well, the whole thing, it color changes. See? The whole guitar does that. Depending how you angle it. It's a flip-flop between like a trans pink and a metallic purple, but you could see the wood underneath. And again, like this is a handmade BC Rich. It's a neck through. You can see the wood underneath. Look at the shape of this thing. A lot of the thrash guys love the Stealth, which Jeff Hanneman, I believe, was a fan of these, and a lot of the other metal guys. Neck through, really, really light, very light. Created by, let's see, who was it? Rick Derringer was the first guy with one of these.
I think Paul plays one of his songs every day.
Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo, probably.
Rock and roll hoochie coo.
Mama Mancuda, I got you. Yeah, so look at that thing. And it has that awesome 6 on a side ice cream scoop BC Rich headstock. You don't see on a lot of them. Now you'll notice some of these don't have fret markers. This is the way Derringer designed it originally without fret markers. Some of them got added later on. I have 2 with fret markers. One has clouds, one has diamonds, but probably about half of these don't have, or maybe 2/3 even, were made without fret markers, which is a pet peeve of mine, but I love the guitars so much. These old Stealths play amazing. I mean, I love early handmade BC Riches. And again, yeah, Kahlers were pretty much the standard on them. Let's see, this particular one has a Duncan in the neck and a DiMarzio Super Distortion in the bridge. You have brass rings, you have a brass Kahler, and most of these came with Kahlers, which were very hot at that time. Again, Kramer was holding license for Floyd Rose, so a lot of guitar companies relied on Kahlers or licensed Floyds later on. But this is a built-in Kahler from the factory. lot of options. You have a coil split, phase, multiple volume, and a tone knob, boosters. Again, electronics by Neil Moser. So thank you, Renus. There you go. So yeah, boost. Let's see, boost, coil split, phase, on off. Really, really, really cool. And look at the carve on this thing. I love the way these necks are so smooth and comfortable. Really, really cool. And this is a really light guitar. I mean, this is totally metal, but it's so light. You know, and again, I think the number they counted for these was about 183 of these made. Really light. This and the Wave were both early scarce guitars that became popular later on with some of the thrash metal guys after Rick Derringer, who again, you know, played this all over the place. Where does the bar go? The bar goes. There's multiple bar options on this Kahler. Right where my finger is here is where your main bar can go. If you can see that. But they also made a smaller bar that you could put in here, which was like almost like a palm bar that you could just, you know, palm when you're palm muting it, it's right there. And against over here where it was a long bar, like, you know, like a standard Floyd would have.
So you can palm your bar.
You could palm your bar. Again, really, really comfortable to play. Color blew my mind. This was the first Stealth I got, even though I didn't like the no fret markers. You can't resist these things. You just can't resist these things. They're so cool, so rare, so fun to play. And the neck profile, wide, flat D shape, which is my personal favorite. But they varied because, again, these are hand-carved guitars. Back of the headstock, someone's requesting. There you go. Very, very, very cool guitar. Very rare. Fun to play. Great tone out of it.
Tone.
And again, you look. Again, here's another guitar. You know, BC Rich made these crazy, crazy shapes. Here's another guitar with a shape very similar to like the Charvel Star, or you know, later on the BC Rich Warlock, or the BC Rich Ironbird, which came out just about the same time as this, but it's pointier. This has rounded horns, but it's really, really badass, and it's called the Stealth. Let's see, just looking in the chat. Let's see. Looking for questions in the chat. Just bear with me, guys, and leave a thumbs up on the video if you like that BC Rich Stealth. Let's see. David Shea Gormley needs a Stealth. I hear you, brother. Yeah, you have a couple of options of bars for the Kahler. Let's see. And I know, old man Dan, I know you use the top dots. The problem is I'm a sit-down player, so a lot of time I wind up looking at the board, and I use those fret markers. So I'm mentally handicapped in that way. But yeah, I know you should be using the top dots. I'm kind of dumb like that. And thank you, False Flag. Thank you for changing Johnny's lights. Yeah, also the Kramer Voyager is another one that also had that sort of star body, that extended star body. Jackson Warrior, Robot Master Switch brings up, that came out later. But yeah, again, same principle. A lot of the guitars wanted a star body. I think Charvel started it. Charvel started in the early 80s with a star. Rick Derringer came up with this. Bernie Rico of BC Rich's son came up with the Ironbird, Bernie Rico Jr. And not easy to find. They came out later, of course, again in import models with pointed headstocks, but this is one of the originals. So there you go, 1984 BC Rich Stealth handmade guitar. That is your show and tell guitar of the week. There you go. Rare as can be, and a hell of a lot of fun to play and tell you guys all about. So, thumbs up. There we go. It's Johnny sleeping. Let's bang out a little bit of music news. We got a couple minutes left of the show. Let's bang it out. Let's see. Halloween came out with a new self-titled album, basically with the entire reunited Halloween membership, which is basically your old Halloween touring artists, your original Halloween lineup, and the newer guys. All of them were touring together and got together, did a new album, self-titled Halloween, and it has hit. Ready for this? Johnny, give me a drum roll.
Ned, push this button right here.
Come on, Ned, help out.
There we go.
Number 1 in over 10 countries. Number 1, this album is. So if you are a fan, new or old, of Halloween, you should check that out because it's really, really, really awesome. I ordered a copy. I haven't gotten it yet, but I'm really looking forward to it. All over Europe, it's number 1 in over 10 countries. Some of the others, it's scraping toward number 1. In the USA, because we're not a great metal country, unfortunately, except for our treasured viewers here, it's number 58, which is still pretty fucking good on the top 100 for a metal album, an 80s metal band album. To debut with number 58, that's still pretty good, and it's climbing up our charts too. It's number 3 on the hard rock charts in America, but that says a lot. And again, they're so good in concert, especially with, you have the new and the old frontman and the old guitarist. This was recorded, by the way, real geek note here, on the same drum set that Keeper of the Seven Keys albums were recorded on, for that old school tone. So just to give you tone, Johnny, tone. So congratulations to Halloween. Check out the new Halloween album. Let's see what else we got. Okay, I think let's see. Let's congratulate Slash on 15 years being sober, which he's celebrating. Definitely worth celebrating. And again, if you are thinking about getting rid of your addiction, reach out to people, reach out to friends. It's great. It's great to be sober. I've never had that problem, but I've had a lot of problems with addiction. So a huge kudos to Slash for staying on the wagon for 15 years and counting by the day. Thumbs up, my friend. So congratulations to Slash's camp. And finally, Johnny, look this up. There is a badass Pantera road case package that is being sold by the band. This is cool. If you're a Pantera fan, everyone loves Dimebag Darrell. This is a really cool package. Check this out, because I'm totally digging this. What are you laughing at?
The Pantera limited edition.
It's great.
Here it is. Cowboys from Heck.
Are you looking at the right thing? Are you looking at the right thing?
Pantera limited edition Cowboys from Hell road case collectible.
Yes.
I could say hell on here. You said much worse earlier.
I didn't say you can't say hell. Go for it. We were talking about Fat Albert fighting Nazis earlier.
I've got a tail right here.
Let's see. Where is... Oh, let's see. Hold on. There it is. Okay.
Oh, no.
What?
Don't play a video. There it is.
It's not playing a video, but read the description, John. Read the description, what it comes with.
This Pantera Cowboys from Hell case.
Your voiceover career is destroyed, Johnny.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've got a cat walking through here.
Well, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, this is one of those websites that sucks. Where it just
Okay, look, it's this
only
on tour.
500. Only 500. 500.
Okay, only 500 in this extremely limited edition will be produced. Shipping date estimated to 2021 or early 2022. The On Tour series collectible is officially licensed, limited edition collectible, only 500 cast. Each is hand detailed with certificate of authenticity on the base. Let's see.
Thank you, False Flag.
Released in 1990, Cowboys from Hell was Pantera's breakthrough record. We all know that. Let's see. Where is what it comes with specifically? Oh, come on.
It would have said further up.
Yeah, I'm looking for it. Where are we? What the hell?
Cowboys from Hell. It looks like it comes with some sort of pot doll.
Yeah, I mean, it comes with a big.
It says limited. It's
bud.
11-inch tall collectible statue, no actual cannabis.
Yeah, so it's got the weed symbol there. It's got a little joint on the road case. It's got a little drop of the stage background. I think this is a lot of fun. I think that's a lot of fun. Let's see. Trying to.
Wow.
God damn, yeah. They don't give a lot of good information on this. It's a statue series called Rock Icons. This is their current one.
Oh, so it's tiny.
Yeah, it's a statue. It's very, very
Ned,
cool.
Get down.
Yeah, Ned could play with it.
Get down. He's not supposed to be in the window. Get down.
Welcome to live TV, folks. Anyway, any Pantera collectibles are cool. Anything like that is cool. I mean, who doesn't want something like that? I mean, look, here's your chance, guys. You missed out on the Iron Maiden cooler. Now here's your chance to buy the Pantera road case statue. I think that's pretty neat. If you're not saving up to buy one of Neil Sean's 112 guitars, you may want to go this way. It's a little cheaper. A little cheaper.
There you go.
Does it give a website where it's being sold?
It says
Knuckle Bones. KNUCKLEBONZ. Knuckle Bones.
Knuckle Bones. You can go straight to it. Did it open?
Does that link connect?
This thing is kind of expensive.
Currently in production. Let's see.
Oh my gosh.
$125. Okay, here it goes. $125. Let's see. Includes Pantera road case, MJ Leaf stage prop, joint, and CFH stage backdrop. Cowboys from Hell backdrop. The backdrop's 14 inches by 14 inches. What's really funny is, someone's going to be high as fuck when they order this. They're going to pull a total a total mistake like Stonehenge in thinking that this is 14 feet by 14 feet. Someone in like a Pantera cover band is gonna be like, oh look, man, it's a road case and it's got a 14 foot by 14 foot stage backdrop, and that's real cool. It's gonna be total Spinal Tap moment when this 14-inch by 14-inch road case and stage backdrop comes into their mail.
So this thing's tiny, huh?
Well, that's what she said, but I think it's girthy and massive. Yeah, I mean, it's 14-inch by 14-inch, but I think it's a lot of fun. I think that's fun. If you're a Pantera fan, I think that's really cool for your desk or your shelf. I think that's a lot of fun. Do you guys in the chat like this?
Is anybody awake?
I'm curious.
We're losing.
Everyone, you're losing. Everyone in the chat, if you're a Pantera fan, would you buy this? $125 for a Pantera statue? I think so. I think it's cool. Some people in the chat saying, "Man, I'll pass." But then there's Lenny Lou. I know someone will love it. I'll bet Sandra Picorni would like this. Sandra's a big Pantera fan. I know some people. Yeah, Jimmy Ray Hawkins loves it. Taylor 315. Jimmy Ray's son would love it. Yeah, so there's a couple people. Couple people that would love it. I like Pantera a lot. A couple people. Okay, well look, they only made a certain amount, so grab them while the grabbing's good, folks. And of course, leave a thumbs up on the video if you haven't. Appreciate that. By the way, one of my friends ordered a Kiesel recently, and she put up on her website, which I'll give a plug to. It's Rockin' Guitars, ROCKIN' guitars. It's a Facebook page, Facebook group, cool Facebook group, a lot of guitar talk. Check it out. Anyway, so she put up an image of a Kiesel that she ordered. She didn't say, hey, what, I'm getting this Kiesel. She said, what do you guys think of this guitar? And it was one of those headless Kiesels, and a lot of people weren't crazy about it. I'm not crazy about, headless guitars at all, much less the Kiesel ones. And a firestorm of people started talking about, including myself, how abysmal their customer service is and what a dick a certain owner is that I see being mentioned in the chat. Yeah, so a lot of people not fans of that, but I thought it was just kind of funny that everyone's on the same page of how bad the customer service is there and stuff like that. That's a cool Ozzy statue. There you go. Bark at the moon, baby. I'd rather have that, actually.
Oh, I thought that was Sharon.
Yeah. Kind of is.
I'm joking.
Oh, that's terrible, Johnny. That's terrible to say that about me.
That's the Sharon Osbourne laugh. Yeah. And by the way, if anyone blew their fingers off this July 4th, message me, drop me a DM and let me know that if I could get any good guitars out of you, because you won't be playing them anymore. So yeah, just drop me a message. Say, hey man, good. I blew my fucking fingers off on the 4th. You want to buy my guitars? So yeah, absolutely. So there you go. And that is the music news this week, Johnny.
Awesome. That was some good stuff.
That's some great stuff.
Very
and
exciting.
Again, huge thank you to our chat. Huge thank you to all our beloved viewers. And thank you especially Charles Green and a lot of other people who have written me and private messages and all sorts of support for what's going on in my mom's health situation. So thank you, everybody. Really love and appreciate you all. And of course, thanks for watching our video every week. We know you have a million choices on TV to watch, and you watch us, which shows
Don and Mitch.
Yeah, it shows. Look, it shows your bad judgment, and we appreciate that. We very much appreciate that. So we love you all over here. Let's thank our channel members, who we love just a little bit more. Just saying. Just saying. No, we love everybody. But
I tuck each of these people in every night.
Johnny rubs and tucks them. Thank you, Blacktooth Fox. You are too, man. Let's thank our beloved channel members: Hal Face, John Moronic, James Gum, Hillary Lewis, Jim Nicholas, Mr. BHP Jr., 802 Blues, Frag 5150, Pal Guitars, Dan Halen, Frank Corcoran, Ben Tom and Tom Jr., Jeff T, R2R3 Locking Nut, Fernando Riley, Robot Master Switch, 6 Chick 71, Rick Green, the Chad, 2 Brain Cells, Thomas Santiago, Voodoo Child SJ, that's my buddy Sean Johnson, Brian Spaulding, Fender Guru, Music Therapy Laz, Roxy, come home, we love you, we hear you up in the trees, Ghost BC Rich, 5150 TV, Jimmy Ray Hawkins, Hugh Caldwell, David Crosby is a dildo fucker. Am not, am too. Jesus Rapes Me, Randy Price, Christopher Live, Sawa, Laguna Palms, Murph Murphy, Steve Barton, All Dave, All Night, Tuba, and Steve Carmichael. Thank you, Dave Shea Gomery. Love you too. Let's see. What else we got? Thank you, especially Mr. Charles Green, executive producer, my buddy Fruitcake Tony. Be sure to watch Fruitcake Tony Show Me Your Pick this weekend, specializing in Striper with a special guest, as well as Michael the Captain Smith, David Ennis, Mike Neese, Richard Poole, Linny Lou, and my geriatric love slave Mary, Gargot's Entertainment, Sharon, Kurt 5150, my girl Susan Silvestri, Mickey Settlemeyer, Joe Christian, Nicole Mrazek, Sean Bolland, our buddy Wayno, Stephen Franklin, Will Star, R. Habs, KXM Rock, David Shea Garmery, Bozique, Crazy Cook 678, Carol Hatcher, False Flag, Margaret Scranton, Sean Silas, Trevor Burnson, Jarhead Rock. And that's the gang. And thank you, David Shea Garmery. I'm glad you enjoyed your card. David Shea Garmery, by the way, I'll just mention, Johnny, his fiance reached out to me about his birthday last week, and I custom made him a card, a homemade card. She said, "Yo, look, he loves the show." I said, "Wow, we should have him bronzed," and I made him a birthday card.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I homemade him a birthday card. I made it in crayon, so I thought that was very sweet of his fiance to ask for a request for that. I was happy to accommodate any fan and friend of the show. So thank you, David Shea Gormery. There you go. And thank you, everyone, for the kind words. Leave a thumbs up if you like the video. Subscribe to the channel because we bring you so much quality entertainment. It's insane. Look at Johnny throwing up surveys out of the blue. Where are you going now? I'm about ready to rub another one out. Thinking of Mary. I'm about to rub another one out. There we go. Sad Ace. Sad Ace, do you ship guitars? Never ship. Poor Ace Frehley. And thank you, Cobra Kai Platoon, for the great graphics on the show. And again, always remember, we love and treasure our audience. Be safe out there. If you're not vaccinated, get the goddamn vaccine. Stop playing around. I have a new friend suffering with it lately. It sucks watching that. So I want everyone safe. Man. Love everyone in the chat. Love our entire audience that watches. Thank you all so much. And we will catch you here next week. And listen, leave comments in the video because you know what? We respond to them and we appreciate them for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right? Yeah. You guys are watching on the replay. Thank you so much for watching this.
Yeah, no, we appreciate our live and our replay viewers. We really love you. We appreciate you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
I got to get out of here.
Love you all. Good night, everybody. Rock on.
See you guys Friday talking Van Halen. Unboxing Friday. Come back.
Yeah, come on Johnny's back. You heard him.
See ya.
Penis. Another disappointing show.